Okay, I think we're live. It is, hold on a second. It is 10 past 1 in the morning. It's 12th day of October here, I think, right? October 2025. And we are actually live. Oh my God, look who it is. It's Honeybee. Hey, Honeybee, good to see you. Just popping in to say hi and leave a like. Hope you have a wonderful live and chat. It's always good to see Honeybee in here. I hope you're well, Honeybee. We miss you tremendously. I haven't seen you around in forever, but I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate it. We got Paula here. Paula's here. We got Dieter. Good to see Dieter. Good to see Paula. I did respond to your email. Yes, I am going live tonight. Usually I'm going to go live. If I don't go live, I'll probably send out some sort of a post or something like that. But thank you anyways, Paul. I appreciate it. Paula's amazing. I'm here. Look at that. Unbelievable. Dieter's here. We'd love to see Dieter here. Love to see Paula. Got Honeybee in here. We got Tracy's in here. Quad is in here. Good to see Tracy. Good to see Lisa Joe. Hi, Lisa Joe. Good to see you. Always good to see you in here. Southern Gal's in here. Hey, Southern Gal. Good to see you. Enjoyed your live last night as much as I could. I don't think I got on there till you're pretty much all done. I'm sorry. I have the worst service now when I'm out driving around. So, and my phone for some reason isn't charging in the car anymore. So that's been a problem this week. I think I need a new charger again. It's Gretchen. Is it Gretchen's birthday or something like that? But I did make it. I made it in there for the Mandela Effect stuff. It's always good to see the Southern Gal in here. Southern Gal's amazing. She's got a tremendous channel. She's awesome. Just does a tremendous job. Good to see her back. But it's good to see everybody. We're going to go over a whole bunch of stuff tonight. Done watching football for the night. So that's good news. Other than that, we're going to get going. I do want to get on this latest on this John Bittrolff stuff here going on in New York. So, but it's good to see everybody. Hope everybody's well. Let me play. Hold on a second. Let me. What am I doing? I'm going to go here. Let me play an intro, and I'll be back at some point. Let me see what's going on here. What are we doing? I got things in here a long time ago. All right, so I'm going to try to play an intro here. This one here. Yep. Okay, so happy birthday to Gretchen. Hope you had a good cake, a good day. Sorry I don't have a birthday song. I should probably try to download one at some point. But it seems like all the real stuff, birthday stuff you download is really cheesy. I'll try to think of something though, but happy birthday anyways. We got Quad in here. We got Tracy in here. We got Dieter in here. We got Southern Gal. Southern Gal's amazing. For those of you who have channels in here, if you got a wrench, please throw them in the chat so we can spread the word on the. I know that there's a lot of good, awesome creators in here. All right, so what are we going to do first? Let's go. Let me turn the game off. Hold on a second. All right, so we'll start here since I've got it up on the screen here. I don't know if you guys have been following this. Let me get rid of my face here. Hold on a second here. Very good. The Rex Human thing over there in New York, Long Island. But things are starting. Luis Cuevas isn't here. Good to see Luis Cuevas. But there's interesting stuff going on in the case. And I've been trying to cover this for a long time. But let's hold on. Let me share the screen here. And these people are going to start coming out of the woodwork here. It's good to see Luis Cuevas in here for sure. I see Luis Cuevas all over the place, but usually when I see her, I can't respond because I'm usually driving around, and it's really hard to juggle a phone and try to drive at the same time, especially these days. So, anyways, I'm gonna try to do this without getting. So, anyways, this is a case here that happened almost a decade ago or so. But anyways, this is John Bittrolff. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And he was convicted of a couple of unalivings over there in New York. And now I believe the judge has okayed this DNA that was found at the crime scenes to be reevaluated. So this could be bad news here. Could be good news, could be bad news. So anyways, John Bittrolff, a 51-year-old Manaville carpenter. So remember that Manaville, that's where they found some of the body parts of, I think it was it Peaches? Not sure. Who was found guilty of unaliving two women and dumping their bodies in the woods more than 20 years ago. So it's been a while. Is requesting his case be reviewed after the alleged Gilgo Beach SKer, Rex Heuermann, was charged for, this is older, for a third homicide, but the judge now has okayed this whole thing. So Mr. Bittrolff has been suspected of being linked to, according to a Newsday report. Mr. Bittrolff was sentenced in 2017, is currently serving a 50 years to life, which is weird. He should have gotten life without parole here, but 50 years to life prison sentence for the unalivings of Rita Tangretti, 31, of East Pachacu, and Patchogue, I think it's pronounced, I forget how that's pronounced, Colleen McNamee, 20, of Holbrook, which took place in the early 1990s. And remember, the first victim, technically, of Rex Heuermann, suspected anyways, was in 1993. So both cases went unsolved for years until Mr. Bittrolff's brother, Timothy, was arrested on an unrelated charge and was required to give DNA sample to the state's database. So anyways, what this is saying here is that the judge has basically allowed this to continue here. And it's my opinion that this is going to be going on. Black Knight 007 is here. Good to see you. But anyways, it's my opinion that Beasley's here too. Good to see Beasley. Good to see Gretchen. Good to see Nicole Watt. Who else did I miss in here? Where's Heather? I hope Heather's okay. Anyway, so this guy here, it looks like these guys are going to start out of the woodwork here by saying, hey, you need to test our DNA again because, it could have been Rex Heuermann. And there's going to be a ton of lawsuits and a ton of trials, retrials, all of this stuff. So this is, and forget who did a huge, hold on a second. Let me, Give me 2 seconds. I want to bring up the people who have been following this for a while. I'm going to try to get there. So it's True Crime with Sarge and Sinister with Josh Zeman. Is that it? Because I've been following them for a while here. Whoops. Hold on a second. I want to try to copy and paste these guys and put it up in the chat here. Hold on 1 second. I don't think I can do that. Give me 2 seconds here. Okay. So I'm going to put this in the chat here. But this is their site here. And they've been doing, Joe Jackalone has been doing a tremendous job on this case here. But that's their, that's where I've been watching this from with these guys, these two guys here. But I'll keep an eye on this here because this could become really interesting here in the future. Anyways, let's get out of this here and we'll move on to something else. But I just wanted to bring that up because it's possible that this guy could get out, especially if the DNA comes back tying those two cases with Rex Heuermann. That's pretty much okay. So let's do this here. Hold on 1 second. We'll go to something else here. Okay, so let's do this first. Remember we did this a couple of weeks ago. But we couldn't get rid of Gray Hughes. So I'm going to play this now. This is this was done yesterday actually. So this is the video of Brian Kohlberger and the Costco and the Albertsons after the this was done right after he allegedly did these murders here. Well, he's been found guilty anyways of it. But remember, we played this and we couldn't get rid of Gray Hughes's face. So this is a video without Gray Hughes's face. So here we go. Let me go back to the chat here really quick. Dirty Diana's here. Hey, Dirty Diana, good to see you. Great live this morning, yesterday morning. Mustang's here. Good to see Mustang. Good to see Black Knight in here, 007. All right, so let's start this here. This is coming from East Idaho News here.
His actions concerning his movements after the murders.
I think this is interesting. This video is interesting because it just goes to show you how these people actually react after stuff like this here. This is amazing.
Of the University of Idaho students. I'll begin by saying that some motions have been filed, or not motions, some rulings by the judge about the remaining court documents, for example, like the witness list, whether things should continue to be sealed or.
I remember we played this and we couldn't get rid of his face. You mean the ones where I fell asleep and forgot to say bye? Is that what happened? I don't know. I think I went upstairs myself and I got involved in something else and I forgot to. Could be. It could be. Great live, though. Diana's got the best lives ever. All right, so here we go.
Or unsealed or released. And Judge Hippler has ruled on a number of those outstanding items. For instance, like the witness list, he says we're going to keep that sealed because that wouldn't have become public anyway, and it's an unwarranted invasion of privacy. So there's still some documents they're dealing with had this gone to trial, which if you think about it, if this was in trial, I'd be coming to you tonight talking about who testified today in court. We'd still be in trial, and this would have started the end of August. Instead, we know he took the plea agreement. He'll serve life in prison, cannot be up for parole, and it is what it is. So the judges are dealing with, the judge is dealing with.
It's Amy. It's Daisy Asks is in here. It's good to see Daisy Asks in here. We know her as Amy, I think. Always good to see her in here. She's got an amazing channel. She does tremendous work. Yes, it's Amy. So there we go. Good to see you. Hope you're well.
Records and whatnot. As this is happening, we're getting new video that we haven't seen before of Brian Kohlberger.
Look at this guy. I shouldn't be laughing. Wow. Watch this. This is too funny. Allegedly, he just got done unaliving 4 people. Watch
New video that we haven't seen before of Brian Kohlberger
Nothing ever happened.
right after the murder.
Relaxed, drinking water, hydrating himself. Look at this guy.
Fox News obtained this video. You can see it here about what Brian Kohlberger.
He kind of walks like Lurch too. See, now apparently you can't go in. I found this out. I didn't know this. You can't go in here if you don't have a membership badge or something like that. So he just this is too funny.
Kohlberger did in the hours after the murders. First of all, he went to Costco. This is him going to Costco and getting turned away because he didn't have a membership card. Apparently, he didn't have a membership card. He tries to get into the store, can't get in, doesn't have the card. You know, they're particular.
So I tried playing this a few weeks ago because this actually came out a few weeks ago, and apparently Gray Hughes is the one who got these videos from Costco or something like that, but he probably ripped them off from somebody else. But anyways, we tried playing this on several different platforms, and we couldn't get rid of Gray Hughes's face. So I found one that doesn't have his face. So, but I do believe this. I do agree. This is actually pretty interesting. How he just nonchalantly feels like he didn't do anything at all. Look at him.
About that. Well, he takes another stop at Albertsons, and it appears to show that he goes to the self-checkout register. This is, again,
that's him right there, right?
And hours after the murder, the murderers, plural, and he's at the grocery store using self-checkout. The videos include numerous clips.
Just like nothing ever happened. This is so... I guarantee you people are going to take this, especially people who are, professionals at stuff like this and minds and stuff like that. But this guy here, just like so nonchalantly doing this stuff after he just technically did what he did. This is just weird.
And he's at the grocery store using self-checkout. The videos...
I mean, he looks great. He looks like nothing ever happened. It's just bizarre.
Include numerous clips taken at his stops. And then there's video. Now, we've seen some of this. We first saw it on Dateline when they did their show several months ago about the movements from surveillance footage showing that Hyundai Elantra.
Hello, Boston Christian. Good to see you. It's always good to see Boston Christian in here. He's just not right. Yeah, no, he's obviously not right. But it's just, I think it's just weird. Just how these people operate, man.
Where he changed the license plate at a neighbor's. The video footage showed him stopping at a neighbor's.
Now, this guy here claims, or has been claimed to be so intelligent, but I don't know how intelligent this is. This guy here, if this is him, now I know that some people feel like this guy didn't do it, but he had to be really unintelligent to just keep driving around this. I mean, this is just weird how he just drives in, and I did this like 3 or 4 times.
Nearby, a neighbor's surveillance footage, there, I can get it out, showed him stopping at the home where the students were. And ultimately, he was parked there for a short period of time before it left. And now there's more videos showing that him driving around, numerous clips taken by surveillance cameras throughout the route to and from the crime scene, showing what appears to be his Elantra in various locations before and after the murders. This is the movements of that night. Whether this was all planned, go to Albertsons, go to Costco, we'll never know unless he decides to talk. And at that point, do you believe him?
Is there always somebody like checking membership IDs at the front of the store? Because I don't think I've ever seen that before. I mean, I have a membership. We have a place called BJ's Warehouse here. It's kind of like Sam's Club or some of these membership places, but I walk in there all the time without my membership. Geez, I better stop doing that. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anybody there looking at for badges. This is weird.
them. But um, it's kind of interesting to see the actions, what happens after somebody does something so horrific. Again, I mentioned he also changed the license plates after the murder, switching it from one Pennsylvania registration to a local one. So you would think, okay,
Hold on a second. Does anybody know that he did that? I don't know he did that.
it's kind of interesting to see the actions, what happens after somebody does something so horrific. Again, I mentioned he also changed the license plates after the murder, switching it from one Pennsylvania registration to a local one. So you would think, okay, if you have the plates on your car, you commit a murder, you go switch them. Maybe that's a way to, throw off the police or whatnot. But interesting to see, him at the Albertsons in a green dress shirt, nice dress slacks, as it appears to me, buying something.
He just looks so nonchalant about the whole thing. I just think that's pretty freaking creepy, man. These people, man. No one would have ever suspected him.
At the grocery store, and I can't tell exactly what he bought at the register, but we know that Koberger is serving 4 consecutive life sentences, no chances of parole, plus an additional 10 years.
I gotta find my membership. I don't even know where the hell that is.
And that's where he's at now in Idaho maximum security.
Can you imagine getting arrested at Costco for not having a membership? That would be effed up, bro.
Security Institute in Cuna. So that's the new video. Now, remember when we talked about the video of him in that prison? You remember the video? It went crazy viral. Here's a clip of it that was.
So I haven't seen this one here, but I think this might be a little newer.
Posted. The Idaho Department of Correction opened up an investigation to figure out how this video got out. Now, when it first came out, there was some question of, is it AI? Is it manipulated video? Is that really him? It looked pretty clear to me like it was him in a jail cell, in a prison cell. But then you wonder,
what is he doing here? This is weird.
How could that video get out? Like, it's not like I've been to these prisons. I haven't been to the maximum security prison, but a few weeks ago, we spent some time in another facility just down the road, just the general population prison. They took our phones, they took our IDs. We could not walk through that facility with any electronic device. And
yeah, it does look a little weird how he just places something up there, but I'm sure we'll see it again. It just stands there for a second. That looks almost like it was that is a big cell, though, for sure.
We were allowed media like I was with Jordan, my photographer. He was allowed a camera, but we could not have that camera up until they said it was okay. And so you see that footage, you're like, how did that get out? Well, immediately you think,
hello, Pertinent. Good to see you. Pertinent's in here. Saw on news yesterday they are not prosecuting the officer who recorded this. Yeah, that's weird how they were able to do that. I don't know when this came out. I think this came out right after the other one, right after the Costco video. I could be wrong. Maybe it's down here. Newly released video from Moscow Police Department shows Brian Koberger visited. So this was released by the Moscow Police Department. So I don't know. And that's it.
which prison guard shot it from their phone. And it appears that's what happened. An investigation was open, and the Idaho Statesman reports that no criminal charges will be filed against the corrections officer suspected of recording and releasing prison surveillance security footage of Brian Koberger. Prison officials in the Idaho State Police conducted an investigation. They determined the video.
That's a no-no to record inmates and publish the recording. I think you can get in serious trouble for that.
Video was, quote, authentic and in clear violation of policy. You obviously can't work at the prison and record the inmates and then leak it. After the footage made its way online in August, Prison leadership committed to finding the person and holding them accountable. Investigators said,
It's always good to see Pertinent in here. It's always good to see everybody in here. Either that or be talking to myself. I do have pretty good conversations with myself, though. I have to say that.
that they determined it was a man who worked at the prison, IDOC. And even though the footage was recorded, according to ISP, Idaho State Police, which did the investigation, it was found that the action did not rise to the level of breaking a law,
What?
a state or a federal law. While it may have violated all the policies and procedures in the handbook for the prisons, the law was not broken. The employee quit their job with this prison system before he could be fired. Aaron,
You're gonna be kidding me. People put up with this stuff too.
Snell, quote, with ISP, said he is now resigned and there is no criminal violation we can charge him with. The video does not fall under the definition of contraband. Prison officials did not provide more information to the statesman. The IDOC spokeswoman, Sanda Sir Magic, said that the individual responsible for the policy.
Oh, quick note. Diane Keaton died yesterday. Was it yesterday? That sucks. She was great in The Godfather. But she was in The Godfather, right?
Policy violation was identified.
I think she was in The Godfather.
And has since left the agency. The case was referred to the Idaho State Police, which determined there was insufficient evidence to pursue criminal charges. We remain committed to upholding the highest standard of conduct and will continue to enforce all policies to protect the security of inmates and staff. So I've been asked multiple times, did we pay for the video? Did we pay to show the video? No, East Idaho News did not pay for the video. We don't pay. Here's kind of how it works. Everybody thinks that we pay. Not everybody. A lot of people think that we pay for footage or photos or interviews.
I always get Diane Keaton confused with somebody else. That's why I asked. She was in 1, 2, and 3. Are you sure?
We don't. I've never paid for an interview in my life. I've never paid for footage in my life. We did pay one time a licensing fee. Emmy's coming in here. I need this notebook, Emmy.
Also, shout out to Peggy O. I think Peggy O is not feeling well. She was in First Wives Club 2. Who do I get her mixed up with? I get her mixed up with another actress, kind of similar. She was a great actress, though. Very good actress. So shout out to Peggy O. I think she's feeling under the weather.
Oh, she's grabbing something. She was recording interviews in here earlier. You want to yell hi? Emmy says hi, my daughter. Again, the kids are here. Hope you don't mind. We did pay one time for footage of an explosion. Somebody got dash cam video, and what it is that you pay to license. You pay for the licensing rights to show the footage. And
yeah, she was in the Family Stone, one of my favorite movies. Yeah, she was a great actress.
But that's the only time we've ever done it. I think we paid like $100. The networks. Now, when you get to like ABC 2020, Dateline, NBC, CBS, they will license more. And it's becoming a little bit stricter for some agencies where they don't pay for interviews, because if money gets involved, it becomes real murky. It becomes real, we're paying you for the story, and you don't, it's just tell your story. Just, tell it. That's my view. Tell your story and share the photos.
Hello, Carol. Good to see you. You're baking muffins? Can I have one? Let's do that. Hold on a second. Hold on. We'll play a little of this here.
And let us talk about your loved one or whatever. But so we don't pay. Some of the networks might pay to license footage. I don't think they pay for this prison footage, but there are agencies who do pay and are open about it. TMZ, they pay. Daily Mail, they pay. And if someone contacted them with this footage as an exclusive, I believe you could make a pretty penny with it. I believe if you had authentic footage of Brian Coburn.
Hold on a second. Let's I want muffins too. Good to see Carol though. Do you know the Muffin Man? Where's Shibby? As soon as you mentioned Muffin Man, they thought of Shibby. Okay, so these are the movies that she was in. She was in a lot of movies. Look at all these movies. The Book Club, Palms. Don't think I've seen those two. I've definitely seen The Godfather. I don't think I've seen that one. Finding Dory. I don't think I've seen that one. Live with the Coopers. Haven't seen that one. But look at all these look at all these movies she was in. Mad Money. I seen that. That was a good movie. The Family Stone. I think I've seen that. Father. That's right. She was in Father of the Bride. That was a funny movie. And there was a Father of the Bride 2. Crimes of the Heart. That was okay. If you like those things. Annie Hall. She was in. That's right. She was in the Annie Hall movie with what's his face? Manhattan. That was a pretty good movie. I've seen some of these. Radio Days. That was good. Wow, look at all these movies. Holy shit. So yeah, she was in quite a bit. Look Who's Talking Now. That was a good movie. Not as good as the first one, but Northern Lights. Wow, she was in a lot. She was in a lot of movies. Well, she's dead. That's too bad. That sucks. All right, let me go back to this here. Hold on a second. Well, finish this up and then we'll move on to something else. But I just wanted to show this because it just goes to it just shows you how some of these people actually react after doing something like this.
Burger or Lori Vallow or a notorious killer in prison walking around doing something like that, you could make probably a couple $1,000s, maybe more. I know it sounds so dirty. It is to me. We like I said, we wouldn't pay, but you know that
Who's Truth Seeker?
people are going to watch it and it's going to get you news content and it's just, I hate to say it, but kind of the world we're in, and I'm just being transparent with you. So I don't think that this prison guard sold the footage. I don't know. I have no idea. The first place I saw it was on Twitter. It's also possible someone takes a phone and records off their screen while they're at work. Like, look at this Koberger walking around. I just got 20 seconds of footage. Send to my girlfriend. Send to my friend. Send to my neighbor. Check this.
I wonder if somebody, and I'm not saying this is just an opinion, I'm wondering if somebody outside paid to get footage of him in. It's weird. I don't think he's going to last very long in prison. I just don't. Somebody may be trying to get at him too.
This out, Koberger, and you know what happens. You know what happens once it's set to one person. It's then sent out to 5 other people, 10 other people, and before you know it.
Don't be messing with DD. That's for sure. Oh, she has to go in prof and DDS lies. Oh, okay. Shibby is the Muffin Man. Yeah, absolutely. Where's Shibby?
It's on social media.
Where's Dino? I haven't seen Dino, Shibby, or Heather yet.
And so that's possibly what happened. I don't know. So that's kind of how the payment thing works in the media world. I've told this story before that the day Lori Vallow was arrested in Hawaii, a paparazzi called me and
there's a freaking winner right there, Lori Vallow. Dee is so nice. Like, who would go after Dee? That's just so terrible. She hates Prof. Oh, okay. But why would she go after you, though? That's weird. All right, let's get out of this here. We did enough of this here. I just wanted to show that because it's just interesting how he just, but that's how a while back she was there and Prof came in. Hold on a second. Let me, Prof came in and messaged. Whoops. while back she was there, and Prof came in and she messages me on the side telling me to take his wrench for no reason. Jack-o'-lantern is in here. Hi, Jack-o'-lantern. I heard Diddy is so nice, and I was like, what? Yeah. That's too funny. I don't know. I don't ask questions, bro. All right, so let's go to this story here. Haha, Didi and not Diddy. She claims all right, so this happened a couple of days ago, I think a day ago or so. Man dies in jail after improperly arrested for DUI, so driving under the influence. A Minnesota postal worker unalived after police officers ignored clear signs he was suffering from a massive stroke. So here we go. Sad thing. This is very sad.
Producers with our investigative team, because yet again, they have come out with a story last night that is, well, too sadly, it's not all that unusual. Kelly Dietz joins us actually from New York, where she was just getting an award for the work our I-team has done, to talk about the story last night. So just to briefly set it up, Kelly, this involves a postal worker who was working the night shift, didn't feel well, and left work. Take it from there.
Yeah. So to bring you up to speed, his name is Kingsley Bimpong, and he was a USPS postal worker, worked at the distribution center, was leaving work and ended up driving into oncoming traffic and hitting a center median, got pulled over by Eagan police. And there was no smell of alcohol on his breath. So what is called a DRE was sent out to the scene. It is a drug recognition expert or drug recognition evaluator. They're both interchangeable. Sent out to the scene to specifically evaluate whether or not Kingsley was on drugs. And I don't know how much you want me to reveal, but from that point, those officers are specifically trained to do a 12-step process, a rigorous process in making their determination. That process was not completed. The lawsuit involved in this case and alleges that on body cam you can hear the officer speaking about it and saying, you know, does this person need to go to the hospital, and that for what? And that completing the evaluation would just, quote, be a waste of time. Right. So that evaluation was not completed. However, Kingsley was found to be charged.
This is too funny. All this talk of Truth Seeker and Muffin Men sounds like some LaDonna Humphrey shit.
With a DWI thrown in the back of the cop car. Our news report shows body cam that the officer in the front of the car is asking questions. Where do you live? And Kingsley says, I don't know. All of the questions that he was asked, he answered, I don't know, which could have been a telltale sign that there was something.
Really? Didi's real name is Diana? No.
Medical going on, but it wasn't.
And that brings us to, before we get to the tragic conclusion of the story, this story isn't about not getting everything done on the front end and just somebody gets a DWI and that's a bummer. This guy eventually dies. And what your report shows us and what is alleged in a lawsuit that is filed on behalf of this guy's family against Eagan and several others is that he clearly was having a medical emergency and he was ignored.
Yes, he was ignored. And he was not given the help that he needed when every minute counted. He was thrown in a jail cell, and frankly, the evaluations over the course of hours in Dakota County Jail came through from jail guards as inmate and cell okay, just filled out over the course of hours. The same thing. And the truth was that Kingsley was rolling around on a jail cell floor, sometimes urinating on himself, oftentimes rolling around and just suffering. And by the time he was foaming at the mouth, a female jail guard finally said, like, what's going on here? And a big part of that our investigation uncovered was obviously, step by step what happened, but a big piece was body camera at the jail, that when they were
These guys are going to get freaking sued up the ass here.
paramedics were trying to administer Narcan because they were still under the guise that this was a person who was on drugs, trying to administer Narcan to get him to wake up. And it wasn't working. And one of the paramedics said, like, what's going on here? And one of the interior staff mentioned, well, this guard is not checking when he's doing rounds. He's just scanning. And that was something that we heard on body cam, and that revealed that the legally mandated checks that were supposed to be happening were not happening accurately. And that was leading Kingsley to be determined as okay when he was so clearly not. By the time he got to the hospital, he was declared brain dead. And he had a stroke the whole time.
Unbelievable.
The whole time had a stroke. I know your investigation also found post-mortem there were no drugs in this man's body. But let's go back. Let's try to do some benefit of the doubt, even though there was evidence in your report. I encourage everybody to watch it because you will see what happens to this man.
Yes, happy birthday to Gretchen for sure. I'm going to eventually download some sort of a birthday song for birthday people. But happy birthday. I don't have one as of right this very second. Charges dropped and he'll get out with time served. No more parole or probation. Sweet. Told people no, wouldn't be locked up as long as they thought. All right.
On video, when he is clearly having some sort of issue, and I can imagine he's pulled over, he's driving the wrong way, he's slurring his words, he's falling down. An immediate assumption is he's drunk or he's on drugs. But that's why they call the specialist, right? To determine if he's having a medical emergency or if it's drugs. There's a specific job to be able to determine, because every sign he was showing was also a sign of stroke.
Exactly. The training through the Minnesota State Patrol that this person went through is specifically designated.
We want her to have a good birthday, not a bad birthday. If I sang, it would be a really bad birthday. Yes, this is a horrible case. That's why I wanted to play that, because it's like his fourth parole violation. For Noe?
To be able to tell the difference between a medical emergency and a person who's under the influence. There are specific line items that go over things like signs and symptoms of that seem like drug impairment, maybe actually mimicking stroke symptoms, looking for things like confusion, looking for things like a drooping of the facial structure. And you can see in the video that Kingsley looks like one side of his face is not operating, one side of his body is not operating properly. He's answering questions repeatedly.
Oh, the strange thing is if you have what do they call those migraines? But there's a specific type of migraine, because I get those where if you look up the symptoms of the optical migraines, it's very similar to a stroke. so like you get numb on one side of your body, right? Then you get like I get like all of a sudden one side of my body gets completely numb, eye, teeth, everything. So migraines can be like that too.
I don't know. Where do you work? I don't know. He's wearing his SPS vest. So yeah, at a time when it wasn't just, this is anybody. This is someone who has the specific knowledge base and.
What did I say? Optical? Ocular migraine. That's the one. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. I'm telling you, people who have, severe migraines, sometimes sometimes you can get a migraine and you just wish you would die. It's like, and sometimes they can be pretty terrible. I've seen someone have a stroke. It's not a pretty sight. No. It's nice to have you all wish me happy birthday. No singing necessary. Yeah, I just haven't. You're a sufferer of the migraines. I get migraines, but I get the ocular ones, so they're not. I mean, I've had them bad. I've had bad ones, but my wife gets them. She gets really bad. She gets them. My mother used to get them too. But you get the blurred vision and the numbness, and it's kind of freaky when you first. Sometimes you can get the slurred speech. I've gotten that one time where you just it's just you start talking and it's just not coming. No words are coming out right. It's just the strain. I've only had that once, twice. I think I had the slurred speech. Very similar to a stroke. Light, sound, smell, dizzy, nausea. It's terrible. Yep. I know some people call them headaches, but they're really not headaches. I mean, I know sometimes they're headaches, but you get cluster migraines with visual disturbances and aura. Yeah, I get blind in one eye for like a half an hour. I get migraines that last a week or more. Oh, that's terrible. My wife gets them bad. Usually we're in the ER.
Training that is supposed to be able to make this determination, and not finishing that evaluation and just making the determination beforehand resulted in something really.
You sometimes wish it was a headache. Like you sometimes wish it was like a regular, sinus headache or something like that. But they're so much further than like my migraine is not a headache. It can come with headaches, but that's just a symptom. It's not really what they are. That's why I can't eat chocolate. I stay away from chocolate. As if I have and I love hot fudge sundaes, I would pretty much give up everything for a hot fudge sundae at this point, but I can't have them because 10 minutes later, I'll have a migraine for sure. And if I don't have coffee, that's a migraine. That I'm definitely getting a migraine.
Really, really bad.
Oftentimes in your investigative work, Kelly, your team deals with documents and corroborating all sorts of data to fit together. In this specific case, which is why I'm also urging people to watch the report, is all of this is on video. I don't see any way to escape the reality of what a person sees here. And so that to me says that the family has a compelling case against the county and the jail workers.
Yeah, I mean, not only was he charged for a crime that he never committed, there was steps that should have been handled that were not along the way, starting with the.
There's also a drug. Like every time we go to the ER, they try to give Heather, I think it's trimiprazole or something like that, and that makes it worse for her. And they all constantly give it to her. It actually makes it worse for her. I don't know why, but the last time they went, they gave her the nausea thing, and then they gave her Ativan, which really helped. But Emavig and Nurtec help, but darn insurance keeps changing what brand they will cover. Yeah, it's terrible. There is no such thing as something that works. Sometimes things work for migraines, and sometimes they just don't. When I get them, sometimes coffee helps, and sometimes it just doesn't help. And it's not like you can go to sleep. You can't sleep through a migraine. That doesn't happen.
The DRE officer that did.
People tell you the same thing all the time. Why don't you go lie down? No, I don't want to go. It's not gonna work. That would be great if I could just go lie down.
Did not complete his evaluation up to the guards that were checking off boxes that this person was sitting in a cell okay, when they were so clearly not okay, and not given medical help, not given attention, and just left to his.
It's one of those amitriptyline or something like that. I have to have an MRI on my shoulder. Why? It's getting worse. Your foot is broken, but will heal slowly. Getting old isn't for sissies. I've got to get so much done outside and not able. You need to take a break there. What's the matter with your shoulder? Yes, I do that too sometimes. I wear sunglasses at all times in the dark when I get a migraine. Yeah, because the lights, you get that light of, that, what do they call that? Like, um, sensitivity to the light. It's worse at night. Like when I'm driving around and if I get a migraine driving around and then Steve with his high beams, it's worse. Um, very slow process. And what's going on with Tracy here?
His own devices says he was quite literally suffering. We're journalists. I've seen a lot of video in my time. This was horrifying. It really was horrifying to watch, and knowing the information that we knew, watching it from the outside, you are screaming at your screen, just saying like, somebody please help this man, because he's suffering and he can't communicate at that point. So,
Oh, okay, so Mimi is Tracy. I just figured that out. Mimi is Tracy. Nicole, it's a good idea, and no red food dye like in hot dogs, baked goods.
yeah, it's devastating.
To be noted, I think I read in your report, he's a father.
He
has a
is.
family.
It's getting better though in the medical field, because years ago, I remember when my mother used to get them when I was really young. They thought she was nuts. They thought she was crazy. But it's getting. I felt Labor Day weekend taking tomato scraps out, landed on my tailbone, left hip. No cartilage in joint, left arm went into my shoulder. Oh my God. Girl, you need to. Geez, I hope you get better. I hope you feel better. That sucks. It's awful. Yikes.
Yeah, so Kingsley's family, the lawsuit that it has been filed is obviously on behalf of his family. And while we did not interview his family for the report, we did speak to some of his friends.
This is such a sad case. This guy had, he was in the wrong hands. That's for sure.
And the feedback that we got when we were letting them know that
He wasn't going to make it. That's for sure. Not with these guys.
we're doing a report, because that's, as journalists, what we always do, was just good. I'm glad that this is coming out.
For those folks who are going to watch the report that our I-team did, it's called Cruel.
Then last weekend, I stubbed my right foot onto a brake rotor box that fell onto my foot and broke. Oh my God. Bubble wrap, yeah. I absolutely cannot do hot dogs. Matter of fact, that's part of my aura. I smell hot dogs constantly. Oh my God. That's got to be the most annoying smell ever.
And unusual. It aired last night. It's on our website. It's on YouTube. You should check that out. In the report on TV, we didn't have a response from the people named in the suit. After your report came out, there was a city statement from the city of Eagan. It says basically,
this ought to be good.
Hours after they transported this man to the jail, it was discovered that he had experienced a stroke. They go on to say, while his death is tragic, he was not exhibiting an objectively serious medical condition that was obvious to layperson.
It's Jenny 867. Hey Jenny, good to see you. It's always good to see Jenny in here. Just get inside a whole bubble. Yeah. Nicole, that would be horrible. When I had COVID, I went through that. It was horrible. It's always good to see Jenny in here.
At the time, he was in the officer's custody.
I promise I will not ask you if you want a wrench this time.
Now, I take that statement and I think back to that specialist that is called to the scene, called to the accident. Isn't that person supposed to be a person that's able to flag it?
Yeah, I would say that that's not a layperson.
Right.
That's a person who is specifically trained to be able to identify, who went through rigorous training to be able to identify in their specialty the difference between those having a medical and emergency when things like stroke symptoms are clearly laid out.
You want a wrench, Pertinette? I'll give you a wrench for sure. You don't have to have a wrench, but if you want one, I'll give you one. That way you can post things in the chat if you want. Let me know. Watch out. Southern Gal will tell you I'm throwing wrenches at you. I can't believe Shibby's not in here. I hope he's all right.
Confusion is one of those things. There were signs from the beginning, from that traffic stop, that Kingsley was not acting normally, and as the lab records showed, there were no drugs in his system.
And we should.
All right, so I'm going to get out of this here. I just wanted to play that because this is a sad case. They're going to get sued for sure. Is there a hockey game? Who knows? Probably. Incoming. If there's a hockey game with maple syrup, he's probably there. All right. So we're going to go to this. This actually came up on my feed earlier today. So this is going to be a little bit triggering here. This is awful. This case, this is really bad here. So police in Truman, Arkansas arrested a 49-year-old Tracy Washburn after a chilling video showed her allegedly trying to lure two young children towards a nearby house, one where registered SO lives. The children's mother caught the encounter on home surveillance and shared it online, sparking outrage and a swift police investigation. Washburn, who smiled in her mugshot, has a lengthy criminal history, including theft, intoxication, and even a past manslaughter conviction. She's now facing if she's not in jail because of this, and is now facing new stalking and related charges. So this pretty disturbing here. So be careful. This is triggering here. Hold on, let me back this up. These people go to work every single day, and just like you and I, and the only difference is these people here are up to no good.
Cody? Oh, he's a very sweet guy.
This is the kind of video that will make your heart sink. Police say this woman approached two children playing outside their home. She didn't know these kids, and this is really scary. She allegedly tried to coax them to a stranger's house, the house of a sex offender. And the suspect doesn't seem upset that she was arrested. Just take a look at this big smile in her mugshot. We dove into her history, and it's not the first time she's been in trouble with the law. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. What is alleged in this case? It's the kind of stuff that you would hope would only be used as an extreme example in some sort of after-school PSA about knowing where your kids are. But what we're talking about here in this story out of Arkansas, it is all very real. Take a look at this surveillance video captured by a mom in Arkansas outside her house. It is very real. It is very scary. So I want to play this video for you right now, and then we'll talk about what happened.
What happened to Jenny? All right, I think I gave you a wrench. Let me know if that works. After getting hurt last week, I'm just not leaving home ever again. What happened?
Right after.
Jody, come outside. You know that house right there with the white car and the gray car is? Cody? Oh, he's a very sweet guy. Would you go tell him to come outside? Tell your mom what to talk to him. He won't hurt you. Oh,
now, what you saw there is a woman approaching two children playing in that yard. The children's mom says she has no idea who this woman is. She's never seen her before. She doesn't know her personally. And to make things even more scary, this woman is approaching these two children and she's trying to get the kids to go.
This is freaking scary because apparently he's sent her out to do the dirty work of trying to lure these kids. Look at the cat.
To someone else's house. And on top of that, police say the house that she was trying to get those kids to go to, the person, you hear her say something along the lines of like, oh, he's a really nice guy. She's talking about a sex offender who lives nearby. Now, after the children's mom saw this on the surveillance camera, she posted the video to her Facebook page. She says, quote, anyone know her from Truman? My kids were outside playing and she decided that she wanted to approach my kids, telling them to go to a sex offender's house, saying, quote, their mama wanted them to go over there.
Anyone know her from Truman? My kids were outside playing. She decided she wanted to approach my kids, telling them to go to an SO house, saying their mama wanted them to go over this. Can you believe this shit?
If I find her, I'm going to crash TF out. Now, this story was shared by hundreds of people who also tagged police in Truman, Arkansas, and they started investigating and they arrested 49-year-old Tracy Washburn. And just take a look at her mugshot. It is frankly bizarre. She is just smiling at the camera after she was arrested on stalking charges, according to police. And then, according to her online booking profile, Washburn is charged with public intoxication, breaking or entering a vehicle, theft of property, tampering with physical evidence, and third-degree battery. I have put in a request for more information from police related to the case and the charges that Washburn is facing. Now, we have learned that this is not the first time that this suspect has been allegedly in trouble with the law for alleged alcohol-related offenses. Last year, Tracy Washburn pleaded guilty to public intoxication. This is the case listed in Arkansas court records. Then in March of this year, she was found guilty on 2 counts of theft of property. She was given
This is a really good person right here. Theft of property value 1,000. Yeah, this is not good.
a 12-month suspended sentence and was given a fine of $690. That is also according to online court records. Now, the story of Washburn allegedly approaching these children, it's taking place in the community of Truman, Arkansas. This is a place that's less than an hour away from Memphis.
Did you say this is where your family's from, Dee Dee? Yeah, you gotta, I'm telling you, these people are everywhere. You know, they're going to use every freaking method they could possibly do to get these sickos, you know, and it just never seems like these people are in where they should be, which is in prison.
Memphis, Tennessee, and it's less than 2 hours from the state line with Missouri, which is just to its north. Now, I looked up Washburn in court records in Missouri and found that in 2007, a woman named Tracy Washburn, same age, same spelling, same middle initial, from Truman, Arkansas, entered a guilty plea to involuntary manslaughter while being intoxicated. She was sentenced to 6 years in prison.
You know that house right there with the white car and the gray car is? You know Cody? Oh, he's a very sweet guy.
So
I'm sure he is. Look at this. This is awful.
even after all of those issues with the law and allegedly alcohol, here is Washburn, allegedly again, in front of a stranger's house this time, allegedly trying to coax her children to the home of a...
This is pretty brazen, man. This is, even the cat here is like, what?
sex offender. Now, it's unclear who that sex offender is. Police have not named that person. Washburn does appear to be the only person facing charges related to this incident at this point. Now, the children's mom, who posted this video of the incident, said that Washburn is now banned from...
So what's the matter with Jenny 867? The hospital helped me report it once I got there.
from her neighborhood, and there's a no contact order in place between her, the mom, and her kids. Hey, before we get back to this episode of On the Case, I need to take a moment and talk about our partner and sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. This is America's largest attorney. It's always great to have you on Law and Crime. I just want to start with this video. And thankfully for the mom in this case, she had, a camera outside observing her kids. But it just seems, it's almost as if it was like a PSA. It's just so outrageous that this would happen.
We got some great creators in here. We got pretty much everybody. We got Paula's in here. We got DD's in here. We got Mustang in here. Southern Gal's in here somewhere. Southern Gal's amazing. So feel free to throw your channels in the chat here. I guess you have to cut the walnuts and soak in alcohol before the green skin gets broken and infested with maggots. Eesh. Your grandpa was born in Truman, Arkansas.
And she's innocent until proven guilty. All of this is alleged, but from what we see in this video, what do you take away from it?
Yeah, it's chilling for the fact the way she just approaches these kids. Like, was she watching them beforehand? Did she just happenstance drive by and see the kids there? It's mind-boggling that someone would actually approach these kids and actually ink.
You okay, Jenny? Southern Gal is awesome for sure. This is pretty brazen. This is awful.
Engage with them and tell them to go to this guy's house, and it's okay. Your mom said so. It is kind of like a PSA. The mom did the greatest thing in the world by teaching these kids stranger danger. Because once it happened, they immediately told her mom, and then she looked at the video and saw that, and then called the police, and then the wheels started moving, and they arrested her for that.
This is the reason why you should have cameras right here. Exact reason.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like you think of like a PSA is always a little bit more extreme than reality. And you would never think that like a predator actually shows up, and we'll see what her relationship is to this sex offender. And if he was involved in any way, I don't think there's any evidence of that at this point. But it's interesting in the alert that police put out before we dive into Tracy Washburn, the suspect, that they put specifically, even after her arrest, hey, she drives a Kia. And this specific car. Why did police do that?
Well, they want to see if she's been involved in and is there any other incidents that have happened that have not been reported? Because a lot of times when you
Thank you, SG. The other two, we got Doodlebug is awesome. We got Arctic Fox is amazing. Peggy O is great. We got Amy is in here. A lot of great freaking creators. Steve, Mom. Minor Monsters is great. She's been doing a lot too lately, especially with the missing stuff.
These situations happen, nobody says anything. Was this car near a school? Did this happen before with any other parent that they didn't realize it? And it's also they could talk to their kids and say, did anyone in a car approach you? A woman approach you? And they could ask them, what did she approach you in? So car, what kind of car, what color? So you don't want to lead the kids to these questions, but you want them to tell you. So people who have made not.
These are smart kids, though, because a lot of times, they're probably going to, if it's a woman, I would think that they're probably going to be a little bit more trusting with a female. That's kind of the ruse than if it's a male, right? So these kids were pretty smart not to go with this person here.
Not made reports about this incident with her involved, who have seen that car in places that kids, congregate. Parks, schools, anywhere. So that's a benefit. It's a positive thing to do, because I think the police did a really good job in once they apprehension and they put the alert out. And they put the alert out immediately too. Anytime when you have these type of incidents, you want to make sure people are you put a bolo out, be on the lookout for, and that's because this will not stop until she grabs.
Thank you, Southern Gal.
Somebody. That's the reality of them. So you move kind of fast on these type of incidents. You really do.
And I think too, so she's facing these stalking charges for what.
I wonder what's in this cup here.
What you see play out on camera, but also apparently she was drunk. She's facing a public intoxication charge. And when you look into her criminal history, this is a woman who has a serious issue with alcohol. And it's one of those questions I think we often ask.
We love Paula too. Paula's in here somewhere. Paula's amazing. Paula's got a great channel. She does the morning update stuff. Paula's just awesome. She's constantly checking in on me, making sure I remember that I got to do a live. She's awesome. Paula's the real deal. Love Paula.
Ask when you see someone with a lengthy rap sheet of like at what point, and I understand that alcoholism, it's a serious issue.
Yes, PJ's great too. PJ, so yeah, what would I do without Southern Gal in here? PJ's amazing.
And people really struggle with it. And there's a whole lot of other stuff that could be going on with this. But like from a legal perspective, I mean, if you're the police and you have this person that, you know, now has a restraining order against them and they've been having this like long pattern with alcohol, like what is the solution to
The thing is, what are these people doing out of prison, right? They should not be like, this should be like the last time, right? There should be no 1, 2, 3 strikes here. This is the last time. And this person approaches these kids. She's apparently trying to lure these kids into somebody's home they don't belong in. She has no right to be. This should be the last time we ever see this person again. She should never be allowed in public with society.
stop this person from causing trouble?
Well, that comes from the criminal justice system that the police can only do. We can make arrests, make apprehensions, arrests. If that comes into the prosecutor's office, becomes to the courts, have to make a decision on how to deal with her consistent predicate abuse of alcohol. That's something that she has to make a decision on. We've seen this before. Alcoholism is the disease. She's not trying to fix the disease, and the courts have to either mandate it, make it a compulsory thing to go into rehab. But the rehab will only count.
That's why I play these things, because this person's face should be postered everywhere. And a lot of people probably call that libel, right? But she did this to herself, right? Like she should be, whatever you do, don't go near this woman right here. If you're a child, and you know,
only catch if the person wants to be rehabilitated. I've unfortunately worked with drug abusers and alcoholics in the past, and they don't want to get help. I mean, a guy was like, his biggest concern when he went to jail was, will I see my girlfriend? Because I'm worried about having sex. That was his concern. Not going to jail, not getting rehab, but worrying about being incarcerated so he can't have what he wants to have. And this is the thing about alcohols. And I've dealt with alcoholics. Some of them are so severe that they do get arrested. They may have to be hospitalized because there's such a severe alcohol abuse problem. And with this person, you know, she's been arrested numerous times. The court systems haven't stopped her from doing it.
I'm sorry, I just don't feel bad for these people at all. I don't. These people here, we'll hear more if this person doesn't get any jail time. We'll hear more about this person, and that's the last thing I want to hear about this person here. I mean, this is a brazen attack on children, coming into these people's property like this to lure them to somebody that's just
And the reality
you just can't do that stuff. It's just wrong. Period.
is the only one who can stop it. You can compulsory make it a mandatory thing in rehab, but if she doesn't get just
Yes, we love Barbara. Barbara is awesome too. Barbara's amazing. I haven't seen Barbara around. Hope she's okay. Barbara is awesome. Timmy's legacy.
it doesn't catch on, it doesn't make a difference. And this is the problem we have with these people who are abusing either substances or alcohol.
Right, and you have to wonder too. I mean, there is obviously a pattern of alcoholism in her past, just based off of the records we've been able to find. But then at the same time, it's like, how do you get to a point where I don't know if you can blame the alcohol for going up to children and then trying to get them to go to a sex offender's house, where it just seems like,
Yeah, no, it's a separate issue. This is a separate situation here.
like that. Yes, she's facing a public intoxication charge, but how do you as law enforcement go into figuring out exactly how you get to the point where she...
Yes, Mr. Steve is awesome too. I hope he's doing well. We miss Mr. Steve. Mr. Steve is great.
He's trying to get these young kids to go to a sex offender's house.
Yeah, well, the alcohol is not an excuse. The reality is she could be drunk off her mind. It's not an excuse for her actions. And that's the whole thing. When I presume when the officers arrested her and the detective spoke to her, they probably interrogated her and asked her a lot of questions. But now we have to deal with if she's an intoxicated state. Can you speak to her? Because if she's intoxicated, you really can't get real answers from her. So you have to wait till she gets kind of sober again, and then maybe re-interview her again, interrogate her. But that's what you want to do. You want to find out the why, because was she? And this is something I was investigator would be asking. Have you gone by that house?
This is just not acceptable. It's the bottom line. This is just not an acceptable behavior. It's just not. Like, these kids are priceless. You just can't do this, right? Like,
before. And that's another thing I would talk to the mom. Did you ever see that car around before? And that's important because was this a happenstance moment where the kids were just outside, or was she stalking these kids and this car was driven by a few times? Because she approaches these kids and is very.
No, I haven't seen Charlotte for a long time. I hope she's well. I do miss Charlotte. Charlotte is an amazing human being. I hope she's well. I know she does a lot of stuff. There was nothing. Oh, good night, Pertinent. It's always good to see you here. Thank you so much for coming in. Yep, you're welcome. Always good to see Pertinent here. There was nothing on the local news that I saw about this. This came out earlier today, I think. Yesterday, earlier. I keep saying today. This came up on my feed. So obviously it's new. It's a newer type thing. Somebody had said, yeah. Going back to Charlotte. Charlotte is. I hope she's well. I know she does a lot of work. I think. She travels a lot too. I think.
Very relaxed in her way of talking. She doesn't sound intoxicated. She sounds like she's really clear, coherent enough to suggest to these kids, go to this house, but your mom says it's okay. And the kids did the greatest thing in the world. They said, we're not going. They just did their thing and went to mom. So that's a great aspect to it. But when it comes to the perpetrator themselves, that's where you have to really do a little background on it. Where was that call before? Had she done this before? And were these kids targeted as part of this whole plot?
So she's 49. That's what she looks like. So if you see her anywhere, don't trust her at all. She was booked 9:30, 11:30 p.m. Public intoxication. So this must have happened a couple of weeks ago. 49 female, breaking or entering, articles from vehicle, theft, property. This is all tampering with physical evidence, obstruction, prosecution, battery, third degree. Yeah, she's a winner.
To bring to this guy's house. And the question is, does this sex offender even know her? What's the relationship between the two of them? That's another thing that has to come up, because now he's failed to register once before. He's been arrested for it. Is this something now that is going to be a concern for the police department, and for the court system now? Because now he's kind of part of it, even though he may not have been a will.
And I would not be surprised, right? Like, I would not be surprised. It's just an opinion. I would not be surprised if she's received some sort of domestic abuse or DA or something from who she's with. I wouldn't be surprised. That's all I've been watching is football too. Football and baseball. There was a freaking great game on. What was it last night? Seattle versus Detroit. The game went like 15 innings. That was an awesome game the other night.
Willing partner, or even know yet. He's now part of it. So now you have to look at him a little harder too.
Just going back to the video, because I mean, it's just the tone of her voice, I think, is the most terrifying part of it, because it doesn't sound like she's, when you think of someone who's inebriated, that's not.
I posted the link in the chat for you, Southern Gal, if you want to check it out.
It's not like she's slurring her words. And it's just as if a kindergarten teacher would talk to kids to have them come somewhere. And it's like, oh, he's a really nice guy. Come over here. Like, that is just so chilling. And thankfully, the camera.
Yeah, these kids are so smart, because a lot of kids might not have, done that or been that weary of this person here.
Picks that up. And what a solid piece of evidence in this case going forward. As far as what we know about this sex offender, and I know there are states like Florida, for example, you type in a sex offender's name into Google and the FDLE page will come right up for a lot of these sex offenders, and you know who they are, where they live. How does that differ from state to state?
It does differ from state to state. I believe he's a registered level 2. He has a chance of reoffending, but as far as his restrictions, they're definitely different than the higher levels of 3 and 4. So that was the one thing. So he's allowed to live in certain areas.
So 4 is worse than 2? Is that the deal? Or is it 2 worse than 4?
It's not like he has to be banned from church areas or schools. He doesn't have that restriction. His restriction primarily is to make sure he notifies that he's a registered sex offender in that county or wherever he moves to. They have to be registered. And here's the thing: you get arrested for that. It's failing to register. It's a misdemeanor in New York. And what happens is we have people reoffend again. We've had that happen numerous times.
Yeah, what happens with that? I mean, because I imagine and there's not too much information out about the person in this case and whether he's actually involved at all, or if it's just terrible luck that this woman tried to get kids to go to your house.
Thank you, Mustang. Whoops. Shit, hold on a second. Okay, hold on 2 seconds here.
I mean, ultimately for I think of other people in the neighborhood. I mean, you would want to know if someone who's convicted, what they were convicted of, how long they've lived there, did it involve children, whatever it may be. I mean, typically, how much does someone, and I know you're in New York and we're talking about a case in Arkansas, but a sex offender moves to your neighborhood and making sure that other people know that they're actually going to be there.
Well, that's the thing. So you have to kind of do your own personal work.
Okay, hold on a second. No, hold on a second. Dino's in here. Hey, Dino, good to see you, buddy. I hope you're good, man. One is least. Okay, hold on a second. One is least likely to reoffend and aren't listed in the registry. There's Dino there. Beasley's in here. Good to see Beasley. I think I said, did you hear the good news about Heather? No, what's the good news about Heather? Where is Heather? I was totally at the wrong end of the state. I can pull it up on a map if you want. Hold on. Having issues with the old computer system here. Hold on a second. Okay. Northwest of Memphis. Okay. Heather is cancer. Oh, that's so awesome. No, really? Oh, that makes my freaking day. Oh, that's so freaking awesome. Oh my God, that's great. That is so awesome. Oh, that's great. That is so freaking awesome. Oh, that made my day. Oh, thanks for letting me know that. That's awesome. Oh, that's so fantastic. Oh, that made my day. Awesome. Thanks for letting me know that, buddy. I hope she's well now. I hope she's wow, that's so great. I will try to stop back in driving ATM. Okay. Yeah, thanks, buddy. I really appreciate that. She was in my chat last night and told us the good news. Oh, that's awesome. Oh my God, that's so great. That is so that's the best news I've heard in like months. Oh, that's so awesome.
I know there's certain applications with the online that you can actually look and like there, not to promote anything, but there's one app that tells you there's a registered sex offender about 0.3 of a mile away, but then purchase the app to use it. But you can actually you can look it up within your neighborhood, within the state and the city. A lot of these cities and a lot of these websites.
Yeah, drive safe, Dino. Thank you for letting us know that. That's awesome. That's so great. That is like the best news I've heard in a long time. That's fantastic. Oh, good news is awesome. Whoops. All right, we'll play a little bit more of this and then we'll move on to something else.
Sites will do it. You just have to really be more proactive in that. And especially with the 2s and the 3s, because they don't really, especially 1s and 2s, they don't really tell you where they are. You have to really kind of do a little groundwork on it, especially with this person. I mean, I looked, I had to go into his arrest record to find out who this person was. And his arrest was failing to register. So that's a problem automatically. So I'll tell you now, they're going to do a little harder look at him, because if he failed to register once, is he going to do it again? And is there a chance that this offense that the woman is accused of, was he part of that offense? And if he's possibly registered, this is something that may come up later on in anything. Maybe if he's on parole, but he's just pretty much a registered sex offender, do they have monitoring units that go out to visit them and make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do according to whatever restrictions they have on them?
I know that she's facing these stalking charges, but if, let's just say that there's more to the story and this was a premeditated act that she was taking part in, what's the process of, she's already facing these charges, and if your police are still investigating and something happens, and to this point we don't know if she was just drunk and she did this and it was just bad luck with, it happened to be a sex offender's house and maybe she didn't know he was a sex offender. That's all very much possible. But if it's more than that, what happens next?
Well, they could add additional charges. They could rearrest her on whatever, if it's going to be a misdemeanor or a felony, and then she could be charged for that. But it really comes down to, and I always go back to this probable cause, is there enough evidence to show that you can make an arrest? And that's what it comes down to. They had enough on this case with this stalking. Will there be anything predating this incident that would get her arrested? That's what the investigators will look and try to follow up on. But reality is, all you have is what you have now. And unfortunately, when it comes to the police, you're limited into what you can do with these situations until it's a crime that's committed. In this case, stalking, which is what they did, and they were able to develop that based on the evidence they have. And the video is extremely important, because even though you have kids say something, can they identify the person?
Yeah, that's the best news ever. All right, so hold on a second here. Let me pull this up here. Just had a meltdown with the computer here. So, all right, let's stop sharing this. This is the end of this case here. We'll move on to something else. We're going to move on to the missing persons case of the week. This is, let me pull up the information here. Hold on a second. Okay, got that here. We'll do people here. All right, so let me share this. She 100% knew what she was doing when she tried to send those kids to the. Exactly. I just can't believe people let people get away with this stuff here. These people should be in prison. It's not in society for sure. I don't care what her problems are. She doesn't need to be doing that to children at all, ever. Or anybody, not just children, but all right. So this is the missing person case of the week. This is a Matt Spencer. And I think we did a little bit on this case a while back. I'm not sure. But anyways, this week with the Missing with Marty Hughes looks at the case of 28-year-old Matthew Spencer, who was last seen more than 2 months ago. Nope, we didn't then. It's another person than I was thinking about. Spencer's family said he was traveling from California to Houston, Texas, looking for a fresh start after a breakup, and on his way. Didn't we do something on this 2 weeks ago? A while? I thought this sounds familiar. But after not hearing from him, his family grew concerned and began to investigate. His aunt said Spencer told her he was in Cloudcroft, New Mexico, though his license plate was spotted on camera in Flagstaff, Arizona. A break came when his family accessed his Google searches, which included questions about his Hyundai Tucson, not turning over, the time in Houston, and where am I? His account also revealed the searches came just west of Flagstaff. Now, months later, there's still no sightings of Spencer or his vehicle. The director of search operations for Missing in America, an advocate group for missing family, joins Marty. Okay, so let's do this here. And I just pulled up the information on this guy here. So let's do this. Hopefully the computer issues are solved.
And this is Missing. Thank you for joining us. Each week, we cover a missing person case that isn't getting much attention. Every missing person matters, no matter their race, background, or circumstances. It's
just the best news ever from Dino. Dino's an amazing guy. I get why he's probably working a lot. So, whoops. But it's awesome that he came and told me that, because that's just awesome news. Great news. It's the best news ever. All right, so hold on one second here. Okay, so the 28-year-old man was driving cross country to begin a new chapter. What does that mean? Then his car broke down and he disappeared. The Flagstaff Police. So what you need to know is the Flagstaff Police Department shared a missing persons bulletin from Matthew Spencer, 28, who was on driving to Houston from Las Vegas on August 5th. So there's kind of like a timeline here. He last contacted his family on August 6th. Based on Matthew's internet activity, authorities suspect the 28-year-old broke down somewhere between Belmont and Williams in Arizona, off Interstate 40. Authorities are searching for a missing man who disappeared while driving from Las Vegas to Houston more than a month ago. We read this already. Matthew's last contact with his family occurred on August 6th, so that's like 2 months ago. The department continued, and he had not been heard from since. I'll have to pull this up. Hold on a second here. Okay, let's go back to the video. Hold on a second here. All right, here we go.
Highlighting these cases and sharing their stories, we believe every case is solvable. And together we can bring answers to the family and friends of the missing. This week's featured case, Matthew Spencer. He vanished on his way from California to Houston looking for a fresh start in Texas after a breakup.
I think it was just change of scenery type thing. He was done with that part of it. And plus breaking up with his girlfriend too. I think maybe he just wanted to get away.
Coming up, Matt's twin sister talks to us about the case and what she discovered after sleuthing her way into his Google account. First, several other updates to pass along on missing cases that we're following. A mother from Indiana is alive after what police are calling a suspicious fire at her home outside of Indianapolis. Brittany Gard was missing 8 days before police say they found her in the woods about 2.5 miles from her house. The sheriff's office says they responded to the home on fire in Bainbridge Wednesday night, October 1st. Brittany wasn't there, although her family says her car and purse were. Brittany was reported missing the day before after she didn't show up to her daughter's volleyball game. The sheriff says Brittany is being cleared by medical staff, but no further details about her condition or where she's been the last week are being released. The parents of Ashley Marie Williams are in California desperately trying to get the word out about their missing daughter. Ashley's 28 years old, originally from Ohio, but was last seen in Los Angeles in late July. Her parents, Dwayne and Sherry Williams, are teaming up with retired detective Moses Castillo.
You are missed, you are loved, you are wanted. We want you back.
You know I love you, and I just want you back. I want you back.
Yeah, did we do this one a couple weeks ago too? These are all this suck. These like all these cases, man.
So please, just contact me. I don't care where you are. I will come and get you.
The parents are searching LA Skid Row after several possible sightings of Ashley. They say it is not like her to lose touch with her family. They are extremely worried about her safety and well-being. Anyone with information about Ashley's whereabouts, call 911 or the LAPD. Joseph Aranda is missing. According to a missing flyer online, the 32-year-old has not been seen since July 10th of this year. He's from Victorville, California. His car found abandoned in Emmanuel Temple CME Church, a parking lot on Stoddard Wells Road. Joseph has a large tattoo on the top of his back with his last name, Aranda. He also has a chipped right tooth. According to the Find Joseph Instagram page, he is the type of person who stays in touch with his family and friends. He checks in with his mom and sisters regularly. The family is pleading with anyone who knows anything about Joseph's whereabouts to contact police. He is a father.
Yeah, all of these cases here, I'll have to look into this one here because I don't think I've ever heard of the Joseph Aranda one.
Of 4. Every night he says goodnight to his kids. They miss him. Now to this week's featured case. No phone, no car, no belongings, and more importantly, no Matthew Spencer. This August, the 28-year-old was on his way to Texas to look for work and a place to stay, but he never made it. And when his twin sister was able to sleuth her way into his Google account, the family's worry grew exponentially.
New scenery for a new chapter. That was the goal as Matt Spencer set out in his 19-year-old Hyundai, leaving his home in California, hoping for a fresh start in Texas.
Cheers. He just wanted to find somewhere to fit in with no drama.
His twin, Kara, says low on money, Matt was also low on spirits.
They're twins? Is that what she just said?
After a breakup. Still, after a stop and stay with their sister in Las Vegas, Matt had a plan and a backup. An avid low on spirits after a breakup. Still, after a stop and stay with their sister in Las Vegas, Matt had a plan and a backup. An avid fisherman, he was told Houston would be a good spot to settle.
I think it was just change of scenery type thing. He was done with that part of it. And plus breaking up with his girlfriend too. I think maybe he just wanted to get away.
Leaving Las Vegas, Matt texted with his sister along the way.
His last message was, "What's for dinner and how was your night?" It's him being worried about other people, you know. But nothing in our messages was out of the normal.
Kara went to bed and never answered. While waiting to hear from her brother once he settled in Houston, something strange happened.
My legs were just really sore for some reason.
Kara didn't know it yet, but her twin was missing. His silver Hyundai spotted by a license plate reader in Flagstaff, Arizona. Yet he told his aunt he was in Cloudcroft, New Mexico.
I have a 4-year-old, so I
was missing. His silver Hyundai spotted by a license plate reader in Flagstaff, Arizona. Yet he told his aunt he was in Cloudcroft, New Mexico.
I have a 4-year-old, so it keeps me busy. I feel bad. I should have been more talkative to him, but my aunt's the one that noticed that he wasn't answering.
So we went on TikTok Live and we asked people about the area. And we were like, you know, if somebody was going from here to here, what routes would they take? We went through every city on each route. I think
there's like 3 of them. Hold on a second. I guess I can print this, but I don't want to. Give me 2 seconds here. So this is the directions from, this is Williams, Arizona to Belmont, Arizona, because it says officials added that based on Matthew's internet activity, the 28-year-old broke down somewhere between Belmont and Williams, Arizona, off Interstate 40. So this is Interstate 40 here. And this is a 23-minute drive from Williams to Belmont. So, so somewhere between here and here, he broke down. How do they know he broke down, though? But anyways, this is, but there's, let's go back here. There's Route 1, this is the first route you can take. You go Route 2, which is 25 minutes. And Route 3, same 26 minutes or so. So there's 3 different ways you can go, but they all look the same. Why is that? Route 1, 26 minutes. Cuts off this time here. Route 2, gotta go around here. Okay, so I'll try to pull this up here. Let's go back here. I was trying to get the bearings of where the hell we are, because it's a big country, especially out there.
There was 3 that we had it narrowed down to. And we had called hospitals. We had called jails. We had called...
I like her hair. That's so cool.
This is morbid, but we had called morgues.
And when Kara sleuthed her way into Matt's Google account, pay dirt.
We was searching like my Hyundai Tucson won't turn over. Why is it clicking? One was like, where am I? Like, what time is it in Houston, Texas?
And Matt's location, not New Mexico. Instead, west of Flagstaff, Arizona.
None of his Google searches were showing him in New Mexico. It was showing him in Arizona. So I'm thinking maybe he was lost, or maybe he thought he was in New Mexico.
We don't know if there's anything missing out of the car because we can't find the car. And that's the hardest part. If his car was broke down, then where did it go from there?
That was amazing that they were able to get into Matthew's Google account.
Based on that data, Rhonda DeCare has had her Missing in America volunteer search team out along I-40. Off the freeway lies historic Route 66 and an area that quickly gives way to forest roads and extremely rough terrain.
The car has to be on one of those pathways. If it was not working properly, it couldn't have got too far off the beaten path.
And not too far off the road, this, a Hyundai, spotted from above. The team scrambling to the scene at ground level and discovering an abandoned silver Tucson, but not the same year. The searchers telling News Nation it was an emotional gut punch.
My legs, I think, were sore before I even knew like he was missing. Maybe like he was walking. I don't know if that's possible for me to feel that.
Matt's twin is certain he knows he is much loved and wouldn't intentionally go off the grid.
I just want everybody to pray and to share his face as much as possible, because somebody has seen something.
Flagstaff police and
It's weird because did she just say? Hold on a second here. They should have found the car if it was broken down exactly. Did you just say that was Route 66 or because here's so we're close to Williams here. Right, and I'm pretty sure you're going to see this everywhere here. I mean, this is Arizona here. So this is Route 40, right? This is a rest area here. Don't you hate when that happens? I want to see this sign. Oh, God. Where's Shibby when I need him? On the wrong side of the road. Right here. So this is basically just gas. This looks like places to eat here. I don't think there's any hotels here. So we're technically in Williams, Arizona right now. So we need to go I'll straighten this out and I'll come back to this. A second here. Yes, Route 66 runs with the interstate in some areas, so they're the same.
Answering our questions about the case, telling us that they have just one hit on a license plate reader at the off-ramp of I-40 and Butler on August 5th at 2:12 p.m. We're told that if he traveled into the city of Flagstaff, police believe that they would have gotten more hits on his license.
What did she just say?
Hit on a license plate reader at the off-ramp of I-40 and Butler on August 5th at 2:12 p.m. We're told that if he traveled into the city of Flagstaff, police believe that they would have gotten more hits on his license plate. Joining us now, Evan Short with the Missing in America Network, a group advocating for the families of missing people.
I hate to keep doing this to you guys. Hold on a second. I want to. What exit?
PM. We're told that if he traveled into the city of Flagstaff, police believe that they would have gotten more hits on his license. Flagstaff police answering our questions about the case, telling us that they have just one hit on a license plate reader at the off-ramp of I-40 and Butler on August 5th.
I-40 and Butler. Remember that. I-40 and Butler. Okay, thank you.
At 2:12 p.m. We're told that if he traveled into the city of Flagstaff, police believe that they would have gotten more hits on his license plate. Joining us now, Evan Short with the Missing in America Network, a group advocating for the families of missing people. Thank you so much. How did you become involved with this case, you and your team?
Hi, thanks for having me on. So the family had reached out to the Missing in America Network, and because I'm familiar with the area, I was working with the case manager. I was actually up in the area when we got the case, and started on the ground, looking around to the different areas that were suspected of where he might be. Unfortunately, that was several weeks ago, and we've been up there every weekend since then.
Tell us, Evan, about the topography, the landscape of this area where we thought he might have been.
Well, it's I mean, if you're driving from Las Vegas and you go through this area, it changes astronomically. I mean, you go from high desert to pine trees and forests and lakes. It's absolutely beautiful area, and I think that's one of the things that kept him in that area.
And can you get disoriented being in this area? Is there a lot of signage? Is it easy to get lost?
To what network? Some areas in the same road, other areas parallel. Like, okay. Did you remember the exit that she said? Was it exit 40?
Well, that's there's a lot of signage, and he was using.
See, the thing is, like, it was his car, but who knows who was driving the car, right? They got the license plate reader, but I don't know if they got.
Google Maps quite a bit. He was searching "Where am I," which would basically bring him up on the map, and he was searching for lakes and bodies of water in the area. So it looks like he was trying to find a good place to go fishing, honestly.
Yeah. Tell me more about the searches on foot. Have teams been using drone technology and other measures to try to locate any clues?
We've been on foot. We've used grid search, patterns with the drones. It's a high altitude pass because we're looking for vehicles. It's different if you're looking for a individual on foot. Right now, we're just trying to locate the vehicle. Most of the time, it's we're driving those roads, checking the cellular signal to replicate what circumstances he would have been in, because he was talking about spotty signal, and then we would do foot searches in areas where we actually discovered his last GPS coordinate was actually a campsite.
And any leads that you found at that spot?
We've been out there a few times. In fact, last weekend I was with a retired police officer that was assisting me on foot. We did find the like a fire.
Thank you. So I-40 and Butler. So, thank you. For a minute, I thought he said Miss America. So here is, I'm assuming they meant Butler Avenue. So here's I-40 here. So, let's go this way for a second. Whoops, I might have gone too far. We're going the wrong way. I gotta do this. Okay. So trying to find. Damn it. Butler Ave. So 15B. Is that something that says 15? 19B. So this is Butler Ave. This is beautiful country out here, man. Telling you right now. 19B. So this is probably where, what did they say? Sorry.
Fire pit circle where we believe he was probably staying at, but it was relatively clean. In fact, last weekend I was with a retired police officer that was assisting me on foot. We did find the like a fire pit circle where we believe he was probably staying at, but it was
Fire pit circle. Does that mean like outside, or is that a hotel or?
relatively clean. It looked very very off the beaten path. So it was probably 600 yards off of the Prairie Road where he was pulled off of.
Tell me about the search that you all then stumbled upon a different car. I know that was emotional for everybody involved. You get your hopes up that you're going to find him.
Yeah, that was a moment. And I was even reviewing the drone footage where I was, flying in a drone in a grid pattern. And you can tell the moment I spotted it because it like the camera jerked and I flew over to it and we're looping around. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's that. Yeah, my son has a 2007 Hyundai Tucson, and I was like, that's the car. That's the car right there. And we got the drone back. We drove out to the location.
This is insane. Just said Prairie Road. There's no such thing as. Hold on. This is confusing. So Prairie Road is. Get driving directions. Let's do that. 26 miles. East Butler Ave, Flagstaff to Prairie View Drive, Parks. There is no Prairie Road. That's not going to let me go there. Although that is Belmont, right? Oh, I hate my life. Okay, so it's in the middle of the desert. Yeah, I know it's weird. This is so weird. This is so let's let you guys in on my dilemma here because All right, so here's East Butler Avenue, right? Flagstaff is over in here somewhere. And we're on Route 40 here, or Highway 40. Here's Prairie View Dark Drive, Parks, Arizona, but that's kind of in the vicinity of like Belmont here, because that's the only Prairie Drive that I know of in here. And it won't let me. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so this runs parallel. This is 66 here, historic route 66. This is there's a rest area here, right here. This is strange. This is a strange thing here. Anyways, I'll have to look into that. I'm lurking, y'all. Ate cereal. I made it. Oh, you poor thing. Bro, need to borrow your dumpster between Belmont and Williams. That's what I thought. They keep mentioning street names, so I'm trying to. You took Zofran, so fingers crossed. You poor thing.
And it was like California plates, wrong year, wrong headlights and stuff like that. That was one of those exciting and yet disappointing moments. What happens a lot during search and rescue.
And oftentimes when you do this long enough, certain areas, you come across other missing person cases. I know Matthew's case is not the only one that you all have been working in this same region.
Correct, yes. There's Sean Holmes, another individual that we've been working on a case out of the Williams area where the individual went missing from one of the lakes. Some personal items were recovered at the lake, and then his vehicle was located out towards New Mexico up the I-40.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me just read this. So, screenshots taken on August 6th and 7th revealed such searches as. So this, assuming this is coming from his phone. Where is my? Why is my 2006 Hyundai Tucson not turning over and clicks? And where am I? Hold on a second here. I hope you feel better. Imodium always works for me, man. So Kara, which is the sister, the twin, I think, was able to see Matthew's recent internet search history after accessing his Google account. So screenshots taken on August 6th and 7th revealed that's from his phone. Such searches as why is my 2006 Hyundai Tucson not turning over and clicks? And where am I? It is believed Matthew made these searches while on I-40. Does that sound like he would do that? Right. While on I-40, but it doesn't say where on I-40. I mean, it could be anywhere. But up here it says Belmont and Williams, between Belmont, which is like 23 minutes. So somewhere between there. But yeah, he's definitely having problems with his car. I'm assuming he was trying to start it. So sometimes the clicks could being starter.
How about searches in the water? I know there are dive teams who come out when necessary to help. Has that occurred now, and are there bodies?
There's water out there in Arizona? Really? Does that make any sense to you? This is a strange case.
Bodies of water that have yet to be searched?
Well, we've flown perimeter.
I wonder if somebody messed with his car.
Around several of the lakes to see if we can locate, like maybe the vehicle went into the water. There has been cases where we've assisted in where that's been the case out in California, for example. We haven't had any diver teams look into any of the lakes quite yet, no.
It's pretty much a desert, right? I would think that it's, I don't know, I'm trying to, I'm sure if you want to find water, I'm pretty sure you can, but I don't see, I mean, a ton of lakes. I mean, this is desert, isn't it? This is Grand Canyon National Park is right there. I don't see any. I mean, I would think it's dry here, or there'd be a lot more people living out here, I'm sure. Flat grassland, yeah, exactly.
What else stands out to you, Evan, about Matthew's disappearance? The communication.
Get in the water. What water? There's no water here. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight.
The text messages with his family members, the phone calls, his pursuit to get to Houston.
We've been looking at that Google data quite a bit. I've had a couple of data analysts that we employ that have been helping out as well. And we all separately, I gave them the data, and we all kind of came to the same conclusion that it looks like he wasn't trying to worry his family. He was trying to kind of figure out what he wanted to do. He wasn't in a rush to get to Houston. He even stated that to the family. On the 5th and 6th, he was basically saying, I'm just trying to figure things out and, trying to find my place. I think he was just trying to find
Also, I wonder if he, okay, PJ's awesome. I wonder if he's, basically got out and started thumbing.
A location to call home.
Yeah. Well, and hopefully if Matthew sees this and he was taking his time and he is somewhere and doesn't want to return yet, that he reaches out to his family and lets them know. Meantime, the search continues. Any more searches planned for that area, Evan?
We do. We actually have a designated public map that any individuals that would want to help out, they can contact me over at Missing in America Network. We'd be very happy to have any locals that want to go out in some side-by-sides and get some mud on their vehicles and stuff like that and help a good cause.
You would think so. You would think that they would have 2006 Hyundai Tucson. Hard to see. It's hard to imagine if it's I don't know. It could. I would think that the phone is probably more reliable though than the car. I don't know, especially if it's having battery issues.
We have.
I'm just wondering if somebody messed with his car.
have a public map. Anything that I've done is public, and we just want to coordinate. This weekend, we're expecting a lot of heavy rains. We're going to call it off this weekend, but probably the weekend after that, we'll be picking back up. Looking for volunteers.
All right. Appreciate your help and you and your team for everything you do. Evan Short, thank you so much.
Hello, Peggy. Good to see you. Sorry you're not feeling all that well. I hope you feel better. Hi, everybody stopping by to say hi and listening while I try to go back to sleep. Hope all is well. I hope you feel better. Peggy O has a great, she's awesome. She's just great channel. I try to make it there's often as I possibly can, but like I said, my service is really bad these days out there where I drive. So, but I try to catch everybody's lives as much as possible. It's just, plus I'm having trouble right now with my freaking charger in my car. So it just seems like that's every 4 or 5 months I have problems with my charger in my car. So it's annoying. But it's good to see Peggy O. Hope you feel better for sure. Peggy O's amazing. Great channel.
So much.
Thank you for having me.
If you have information on the disappearance of Matthew Spencer, take a.
So this is his name, Matthew Spencer. Last seen, I think August 6th or so. And I'll keep trying to figure out. 28 years old, broke down somewhere between Belmont and Williams in Arizona, off Interstate 40. Where the hell am I? Right here. Flagstaff, Arizona Police Department, 928-774-1414. It's really hard to tell though, because they're not, they're giving too many addresses. I have, oh, you're welcome. Coil wire, spark plug wires, distributor cap, rotor. We've named the electrical components. That's exactly right. Yep. Awesome channel. Peggy O's great. I know when I get sick, if I get sick, I just go out and buy as much orange juice as I possibly can and just down the whole thing. I don't have time to be sick. I think this guy's initially from Illinois. Matthew Spencer? Could be. This is strange. I gotta put this. First thing I gotta do in this case is figure out the map. Illinois. Okay. Yeah, he definitely doesn't look like he's from. I don't know what that means, but I don't think he looks like he's from Arizona. All right, so let's get out of this. I'll keep an eye on this though. I'm going to try to get a better map than that. Try to figure out. So I may do a part 2 on this here. All right, so let's go to this one here. Hold on a second here. Naperville, I believe, Illinois. What do people from Arizona look like? They look a little tanner than that, I would think. But that's good country out there. It's beautiful. I just don't want to get stuck on those highways because you might be there for a while. I'm wondering if you got picked up. Maybe you started thumbing, you got picked up by somebody, and somebody, I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that he would just disappear there. I mean, he doesn't have a car. I don't know. All right, so we'll go do this one here. This is Marion County Sheriff's Office speaks after arrest of, I don't think I can say that, a CKer from Kentucky after failing to arrest a 42-year-old Ronald Exantis, a convicted felon who served less than half of a 20-year prison sentence in Kentucky for the unaliving of a child, failed to register as a felon. So I think he escaped, and they got him.
Welcome. I appreciate everyone coming out. We want to just give you an update. I know we had an overwhelming amount of questions and folks trying to seek more details about the arrest of Ronald Exantis. It's been in national news, I know, and even up to the White House looking into this case. So we want to just give you a few updates here real quickly. This week, Wednesday night, we received information that he may have moved to Florida, and that was a concern to us, and more specifically to Marion County. Our intelligence unit began immediately investigating this, looking into it, and learned that yes, in fact, he was living here. And after further check and looking into his case,
The whole conversation about the tequila bottle. Wow. Yeah, that was awesome. That brought back a lot of memories on the tequila thing for sure. Why does everybody go to Florida? Especially East Florida. It's like all of the people who are fleeing go to the eastern part of Florida. So weird.
we realized that he had failed to do one thing, and that was register here as a felon. In Florida, they have 48 hours to register as a felon, and he had failed to do that. Beyond that, a more shocking and disturbing point of this was that he had set up residence immediately next to an elementary school. When I say immediately next to it, there is a fence between his house and the elementary school, and that was it. So for us, it was a priority, and our intelligence unit and the teams out there jumped right on this and began surveilling the house, waiting to see what was going on. We put detectives between that school and his house to make sure nothing bad happened, and we're not taking any chances. He was located and arrested. He didn't seem.
If only they could have better audio at these press conferences, it'd be great. You know, like it is the 21st century now. It's 2025, almost 2026. So, you know, it's, and look at all these microphones and they still can't. Yes. The audio is just terrible. Always.
Seemed to understand why he was being arrested, but they arrested him and put him in the Marion County Jail. This, for us, we believe is going to be also a violation of his probation. And our hope here is that he is sent right back to.
Thank you for that information about the Illinois thing. That's interesting. Peggy.
Kentucky, where he came from, and as a violation of his probation, and taken off of our streets. This case, we've seen just an overwhelming amount of messages and notes from folks in support of this that we're glad to hear.
I think when people move, like if these people move, I would assume that rent values are probably diminished around schools. That may be another reason why they move to places like that, but still, it's troubling. Sure.
There's parents here locally that were just shocked to find out that their child was going to school right next to where this guy felt like he was going to set up his homestead. So, and even folks from Kentucky that have been reaching out to us overnight, family of the victim, Logan Tipton, that was killed by this man, they reached out to us in appreciation. So it is of a national concern, and for us, our hope is maybe we shoulder just a little bit of that burden that the Tipton family shoulders every single day in thinking of this. And I can't imagine the horror and the sadness that ripped through that family when they realized this man was being released early, a 20-year sentence, and he didn't even serve half of that.
Did he just say whore?
For us, our hope is maybe we shoulder just a little bit of that burden that the Tipton family shoulders every single day in thinking of this. And I can't imagine the horror and the sadness that.
Oh, horror. Okay. I thought he said whore. Like, wow.
That ripped through that family when they realized this man was being released early, a 20-year sentence, and he didn't even serve half of that just to be released. It just reignited a nightmare for them, I'm sure. And so our part here is hoping that we can just shoulder.
I was trying to pull up the next case, and I heard him say that. I'm like, you can't be kidding me. Was that a Freudian slip or something?
Some of that burden, put him back behind bars where he belongs, and the outrage that we've seen from this nationally, I think stems from a few things. It stems from the seemingly loss of common sense in a judicial system in some places to turn somebody like this back out into the public. It's also a willful disregard of the will and the desire of we the people. I know I can speak for we the people here in Florida do not want this type of person out on our streets, around our children. And I think I can speak for the we.
Yeah, because you guys got enough of them down there. I'll be telling you that right now. You don't need any more. You got enough.
The people in Kentucky, when I say they don't want that either, just from what we've heard and what we've seen from them. So So our hope is that this person is back behind bars, stays behind bars, and that in the end, common sense rules out, the will of the people rules out, and he does not get to see the light of day, not in this state and even in Kentucky. At this point, I'll take some questions about his arrest, anything we can help answer.
So in the arrest report, it says that he did check in with corrections in Marion County, but was the issue that he had to do that and also check in with the sheriff's office?
That's correct. So he was told by the Department of Corrections, they're given a form. It's printed out in whatever language you speak, and he is given that and was told you have 48 hours to register at the Marion County Sheriff's Office. And we have felons that come here and register every single day of the week. So they know that, they're told this, he just willfully flaunted that. And I don't know why he chose to do that. Honestly, I don't know why he chose Florida. To come to Florida after doing something like that, you want to ask him, have you met Florida? Do you know us? Do you know our sheriff or our governor or, our attorney general here? Zero tolerance for that type of behavior, and you're not going to flaunt the law and fail to register here.
And as far as living next to the school, I mean, we know there's laws about sex offenders living next to the school. Is there a law that would prevent him?
Oh my God, this is so weird. Yeah. Unbelievable.
A convicted felon from living that close to the school?
So not necessarily. Convicted felon may be allowed to live there unless there's some stipulation in their parole probation that prohibits that. Unfortunately, that's allowed. But when we learned that, for us, that's why I say immediately we had, between those children and that house, there were some warriors standing ready.
Was there any connection between, the house? Did he know someone there, or was someone that he had close to him in the area, or you really don't know?
We believe he had family there, and that's where he was staying. It doesn't, I don't know, to take away any of the shock factor from that, but just happen to have family right next to him. And I say right next to a middle school. When you look at it on the map, it's pretty shocking.
What information exactly did you guys receive that led to the start investigation, if you can tell us?
So for us, this person was high importance. He's being released. This is national news. And many of you, like myself, I watched, I think Tuesday, the interview with the family, and just heartbreaking to hear a father have to talk about this. And when we learned he was coming from Florida, potentially.
There's so many, it's just like passing the buck. I think a lot of times in these cases here, everybody likes to pass the buck. Do they need permission to leave the state when they're on parole or probation? I don't know, man. It's all about passing the buck in these things. Nobody wants to take, really any type of, what's the word I'm looking for? People don't want to take, they're not fooling me here.
Through intelligence channels, we were curious. All of Florida was on alert, and why he chose Marion County, I don't know. Maybe because he has family here, but for us, yes, we sprung right into action and took quick action. And once he failed to register, we worked closely with our state attorney, Bill Gladson, his team. They were able to obtain a warrant for his arrest and put him in handcuffs quickly.
Have you been in contact with, I don't know what body it would be?
They were able to obtain a warrant for his arrest. That's fantastic. I mean, that's good. But meanwhile, he's out on the streets. So, I mean,
Kentucky, but law enforcement there about him actually going back.
There you go. That's
Yes,
the word
so
I was
the
looking
probation
for.
board there is aware that he has been arrested here.
That's exactly. I'm sorry. I was brain farting here. Which is dereliction of duty. Unbelievable.
And those conversations will happen about him potentially being extradited back to Kentucky, violating the law here.
Just to be let go again. That's what the fuck is. People are crazy. These people are nuts, man.
And failing to register is a misdemeanor offense, but the violation of probation offense is out of Kentucky, so he could potentially be being moved back to Kentucky to face those charges.
I get an idea. Let's just just do this, right? Just find a jail cell for or prison cell for this guy if he's a child unaliver, right? And just get a key, lock the freaking door, and don't let him out again. I mean, that would be perfect.
Him living near schools, is it known
we like to think he was.
It's just like a, what do they call that in a domestic thing here, like a restraining order. It's a fucking piece of paper. Like anybody's going to really honor a piece of. People are so dumb, man. It's just so, this whole system needs an adjusting, right? Like a piece of paper is going to stop anybody. It's so dumb.
Not planning on doing something, but I'm sure that's what that probation board in Kentucky thought, that he's fine. He's only served part of his sentence. We'll turn him loose back in the public because maybe he's not a child murderer anymore. But for us, like I said, we the people, we don't believe that, and we don't want to tolerate that. There's consequences to actions, and unfortunately, he was not facing those, in our opinion, and I think in the national opinion. So we don't know that can't say that he was planning to do something. We weren't going to allow him the opportunity to plan something.
Well, it would have been too late because you had to get a warrant. So, I mean, there's that.
Know that living close to a school is a violation of his terms of probation?
From what we can tell, that his probation did not specifically prohibit him from being next to a school or children, and in our opinion, that's unfortunate as well. If you have murdered a child, why would you be allowed to be around children again the rest of your life? But not our decision.
There's no timeline for when or if he might be sent back to Kentucky right now?
No timeline, and if he is extradited back, we would not announce when that is happening just for security reasons, but that's a very real possibility and something that we here in Florida, again, I'm speaking for we the people, we want to happen. We don't want him here.
Is it known for how long he was living in Marion County?
Just a few days, from what we can tell, but more than 48 hours. And his opportunity to come register came and went, and so that's when we got with our state attorney, Bill Gladson, got those warrants and picked him.
You have 48 hours to register, so you have 2 whole days. A known child unaliver. I mean, you could do a lot of shit in 2 days, man. 2 days. What did Ted Bundy was around in Florida for like a couple of weeks, 2 days. He unalived, was it 8 people in 2 days down there? It's just 2 days is a long time, man.
From what I understand, it's fairly rare to arrest someone for that particular charge as far as not registering the 48 hours. I mean, was part of that because you guys felt you needed to get him out, even if it's a rarely used law?
For us, this does happen. That law, if you fail to register as a sex offender, fail to register as a convicted felon, yes, we have specific teams this is all they deal with. We have a sex offender unit, we have a violent crimes unit, and yeah, if you fail to register, we are going to come get you no matter what the case. This case, however, was even more high profile. There's more.
But you get a 48-hour head start. You got 48 hours. Unbelievable.
More of a microscope, more of a national microscope on this.
Exactly.
And I use that term loosely with gentlemen, but we were.
This is the most intelligence that he should have never been out at all. Period. Like, I got to move on to something else. This is pissing me off. This is. Oh my God! I literally should pre-read these things before I watch them because it's aggravating. It's annoying. All right, so let's move on to this here. This is another bizarro here. General Manager Tim Sanders joins News Nation to discuss Brittany Gard. Have you guys seen this? 2 days ago, 46-year-old mother who remains hospitalized one night after being found. Gard was not seen for 8 days after a house fire at her home in Bainbridge, Indiana. Here we go, Indiana again. Let's do this here. So, missing mom called 911 herself 8 days after vanishing. Here we go.
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of questions, even for the family. I just spoke with them just a little bit ago, and they said they still have got a lot of questions to be answered. So they're still working with authorities on those questions that they're asking. Currently, Brittany is still at the hospital right now as we speak.
And then, look, people are smarter than you think they are, right? And when they're in prison for unaliving people, they're gonna try to do the best they can to get out, and they're gonna tell you a whole bunch of shit. They're gonna tell you that they found God, that they're better, that they've seen the Lord, that they're clean. They're not going to kill anybody else. You can't listen to that. You just can't, because they're trying to get out. They just want to get out. So, until there's some sort of like a pill or cure or something like that, man, just don't believe it. It's not good. They're lying to you. Literally. They're going to probably do it again. And they shouldn't be in society, especially when it comes to kids, right? Like, or anybody, but you hear it way too much, way too often.
And I heard somewhere, and I'm not sure whether it was conjecture or a family member who said that she was found in a confused state. Can you tell me if that?
Yeah. If for God's sakes your house is on fire in Indiana, get the hell out. Just leave Indiana. You probably shouldn't be in Indiana in the first place. They're really bad with fires or anything. If you're dead, drag your dead ass body to Illinois or something like that, because it's just not. Indiana's not a good place, period, for that stuff at all, especially fires.
That's accurate, and maybe, elucidate a little more on that?
Yeah, so we're out here now, and as you can see, it's now getting down to 45 degrees.
I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. Hold on, this is classic. This is. Listen for the crickets.
Out here now, and as you can see, it's now getting down to.
A little more on that?
Did you hear the crickets? There's like a pause here. Crickets. This is funny.
More on that?
Yeah, so we're out here now, and as you can see, it's now getting down to 45 degrees. We had on Monday night, we had some rain move through the area. It's been pretty hot, but till now, on Monday and then Tuesday, the temperatures are dropping pretty cold. And if she's been out here basically this entire time, and family members are not sure, was she here the entire time? They're still asking that question, but they are saying, you got
to love the crickets. You just have to. You can't make this stuff up. You just can't do it.
She's been out here, and if someone's been out here with no water, no food, she's been in a very confused state.
Well, it would make sense, and certainly if it's 45 degrees, she'd be terribly cold. I'm not sure hypothermia would settle in at that point, but is there any explanation coming from anyone as to how she ended up just gone for 8 days without any notice to family or friends or kids, and then suddenly just turned up with her own phone calling for help?
Yeah, I mean, as you can imagine, the phone, a lot of people are asking the question of, how was her phone able to turn back on after 8 days? Well, the phone was turned off the entire time because they were actually tracking that phone. So as you know.
Yeah, the nature preserve for sure.
Noticed with a press release today coming from the sheriff's department, they did announce that she was the one that made that 911 call for help. And when that phone dials 911, the family members have that connected somehow, where when 911's dialed, it actually alerts them on their phones, so that they knew then that her phone had been turned back on. And once they got a hold of authorities, they said that they had her. And as you can see back here, I mean, tonight it's cold, it's very dark. I couldn't imagine being out here if she was in this location for that 7 to 8 days. It's completely pitch black out here. There's a lot of woods, and one of the neighbors actually drove by here right before we went live, and she was shocked that she was found here. She told us there's a lot of elderly that love to walk this park during the day, so they were kind of shocked that she was actually found here, because there is a lot of traffic in this area during the daytime.
Okay, so help me out there, Tim, because now I'm starting to think like maybe she went for a walk in the nature preserve and got lost and couldn't make her way out, but that sounds...
Oh, Southern Gal had cicadas. I think I know what they're peepers. Was she in a turkey run? I have no idea. What was I just going to say? Yeah, Southern Gal had what's this guy's name again? The guy that played in Police Academy. The guy that had that could pretty much make any sound with his voice. Oh, not on the cauliflower. Remember that guy?
It's nutty to me, given that it's only 2.5 miles to her house. Can you see any way that that's
Michael
possible?
Winslet's
You
him.
know that terrain better than anybody. Could somebody go
I could see that guy doing the crickets.
in there for a walk and be lost for 8 days?
I don't think you could be lost for 8 days. I mean, you could start walking in a certain direction, and you're going to come out to a road somewhere. It is very wooded here, and there's a lot of cornfields on the outsides of this area, but there's no way you could be stuck in here for 8 days without, if you keep walking, you're going to get out of this area.
Yeah, I figured at 2.5 miles, that's the answer I was going to get. So let me ask some tough questions here. And I know the family is probably having a tough time with this. Do we have any information about her mental health prior to disappearing? Do we have any information about potential drug use? So anything that really might help to explain this kind of very strange disappearance?
I can't do it. The crickets are just hysterical. There's a delay in the news feed, and the crickets in the background are just it's quite comical, actually.
Yeah, I've been asking those same questions. I think the public's got a lot of questions of that as well. Right now, I do know she's under the doctor's care. So I've asked the questions about mental health. And
I'm telling you, like a couple of weeks ago, we did that other case where it's something, the guy that confessed in front of the cameras, right? Like, you just can't make this shit up. You can't. The crickets, it's something you'd see like on Saturday Night Live or like a comedy skit with the crickets. It's just
and I'm not really getting an answer on that. I just know that she currently is with a doctor's care, and I've not heard any information for drug use or being in trouble with drugs at all. So I've asked those questions. We've asked the sheriff's department, for more information. But I tried to get the sheriff to actually join us tonight, and basically he put out a statement that what he said: we have no further comment at this time about this case. We continue to confirm all information gathered during this disappearance. So we're asking those questions and hoping to get more information. I honestly thought there would be a press conference today, just with a lot of media attention and being so close to Indianapolis. And so far, there's not been those answers to those questions yet.
It's just so completely vexing. I can't believe it. Okay, so obviously there was a fire that was suspicious. Those are not my words. The authorities said that. Is anyone looking at potential arson charges now? And is it possible that Brittany might be charged herself?
I don't know anything about this case other than the fact that she basically was missing for days, and she literally called 911 by herself. So I don't know what's going on with this here.
So right now, there's really no answer yet. Did she cause the actual fire itself? So those are the questions that we're still asking to the authorities. And we actually asked them today, has anybody been charged with anything? And so far, they're not answering that question to us just yet. Family, I know that they're still asking a lot of those questions. Was the fire actually caused by her? So those are the questions I think that we need to keep pressing to find out, just to get answers.
Yeah, and why on earth she disappeared, and was there anybody else potentially involved that they don't think are boogeymen or bad guys? But I have one last question for you, Tim. Are people angry? Because I know that place was swarming with volunteers and searchers for 8 days. People dropped everything.
Yeah, who knows? She probably, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they'll never find out, though. She's probably scared of whoever the hell started it. Exactly. I mean, they probably won't listen to her anyways.
Everything to look for this woman, and I don't think that maybe they feel as though they've got the answer they thought they were going to get when she was found.
She's a mom too, so I don't know why she would. I don't know.
I'm just wondering about the community. Are people starting to get angry?
I think angry, maybe not really the answer to that. I think there's just a lot of people that are confused. They are just like us. They're kind of wanting the answer now with this case. It's neighbors that are close by.
Nope, they weren't. I don't even think they probably weren't even looking for her. Honestly, they probably just said, you know what, she'll show up eventually.
And I'm telling you that the big question is, it's coming from the family. They want these answers as well. They're asking the same questions. They're confused and trying to get answers to these questions. And that's the big question is like you're saying, you know, was there someone else involved? I've asked that question to the family, and right now they said they don't know. But authorities are also out there saying that there's no other suspects in this at the moment. So I think we just got to keep asking these questions, and hopefully we can get some more answers.
And the odd comment from the family that they don't think she's healing the way they thought she would, or recovering the way they thought she would. Tim Sanders, thank you for doing this tonight, going out there into the dark and handling all the technical issues as well. Really appreciate this. I appreciate it.
I mean, I honestly don't know what to tell you because I don't know a lot about this here, but it sounds to me like she was hoping not to be found for a few days. That's just my opinion. I don't know. But we'll go to this next case here. I just wanted to bring that up. These things come in my feed here, and we're gonna go to this. This is a strange cold case. This is like 60 years old here. I hope the audio is good on this here. Was this before or after Westfall? I don't know, man. Just don't. So this happened, and I looked this guy up here. So in September 1960, so this goes all the way back to 1964. I wasn't even born yet. Family members discovered the body of 50-year-old Catherine Blackburn inside her Albany apartment, and it's been a very, very long time. But they finally got, and I believe this is her cousin here or something. Hopefully the audio is good here, but this is good news that they found out who did this here. It's good to see, you know, newer technology in these things here.
Good morning. How's everybody doing today? So we're here today to provide an update on a case that goes back 61 years involving Catherine Blackburn. So I'm joined here by a number of people, including from the Albany Police Department, Commander Melissa Mori, Detective Lieutenant Daniel Johnson, and Detective Adam Brace. Also a number of people from the District Attorney's Office, the District Attorney Lee Kinlan, Joe Maney, and Adam Hornick. Also, Dr. Christina Lane from Sage College, the Criminal Investigation Resource Center, and then a number of family members from Miss Blackburn's family, Sandra Carmichael, Barbara Ulmer, Mary Ann Simard, and Carol Combs, who are all nieces of Catherine's. Just to give a little background on the case, on September 14th of 1964, Catherine Blackburn, who was 50 years of age, was murdered at her residence at 117 Colony Street here in Albany. That morning, a coworker of Catherine's attempted to pick her up to go to work. And upon arriving at her residence and not receiving any acknowledgement of her being home, she contacted.
You're good. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have taken NyQuil Extreme Cold and Flu before. I decided I was going to live chat. That's too funny. You're all good here. I'm great question, Peggy O. She was last heard from September 30th. Is supposed to go to daughter's volleyball game October 1st and didn't show up. I think house burned October 1st. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. It seems a little strange. Very, very strange case indeed, for sure. I can't believe I've already been here for 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Catherine's niece, Sandy, to try to figure out what's going on. Sandy and Catherine's sister responded to the address and came across a pretty gruesome scene and found Catherine murdered that morning. Ultimately, medical personnel and police personnel were summoned to the scene, and that started a 61-year process of trying to investigate a crime to determine
61 years.
Determine motivation, a suspect, and ultimately bring justice for Catherine and for her family. Due to a large collaborative effort and really innovation and nonstop dedication of the people that are here today, as well as some partners that aren't here, including some partners with the FBI who could not travel today to be here with us, I'm proud to say that we have positively identified the perpetrator of this horrific offense. And I really want to thank the folks that are up here, especially Commander.
You guys are all awesome. I really appreciate everybody coming in at this ungodly hour of the morning. You guys are all great. Appreciate all your support. It's awesome.
Maury, Detective Lieutenant Johnson, Detective Brace, and all of our partners for all the work that they've done. That perpetrator is now identified as Joseph Nowakowski, who was born on August 10th of 1931. He is deceased. He died in 1998. Again, I really want to thank my staff for their tireless work, as well as the partnership with the Crime Investigation Resource Center. They've done outstanding work since they started and really looking at cases. You know, I know everybody goes by cold case, but I really want to say there's no such thing as a cold case. We continue to always look at our cases to see what we can do differently, what we can try. And the Crime Investigation Resource Center is a group of folks that have always looked to see what new technology is there. Obviously, 1964 compared to where we are 61 years later, there's all kinds of new innovative things we can do with DNA. The District Attorney's Office is obviously a great collaborator of ours and have done a lot of work with us. But really, mostly, I want to thank Catherine's family for their perseverance.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. You guys are both awesome. All you guys, for sure. This guy, Joseph Nowakowski, that's the guy. 61 years, and they basically had to wait for basic genetic genealogy to catch this guy.
Throughout this process, and just recognize that
I think this person right here to the left is the one. The lady with the gray hair, I think that's her family member, I think.
Traumatic cases.
And I think the lady in the back is I don't know who she is. I think she's part of the team too, I think.
Homicides, they take a toll on a family. And it's hard to express the gratitude and find words to them for
us third shifters. This is actually still fairly early here. It's but I do appreciate all you guys' help for sure.
Taking the 61 years of this road with them, that the police department, the district attorney's office has taken with them to try to bring justice.
It's so good to hear about Heather, man. That's so awesome. That's the best news I've heard in a long freaking time. I hope she's out partying, and that is freaking awesome news, man. Maybe that's why I'm in a good mood.
I don't know if we ever really bring justice to a family, but the police department, the district attorney's office, we're always going to stand with the family. We're always going to try to seek justice and bring closure, no matter if that means ultimately putting somebody behind bars and having a successful case in court, or whether or not that means that we're going to find somebody after they're already deceased to ensure that we can identify and say, this is the person that committed this heinous crime, and we're going to be able to at least bring some kind of closure. So I really want to thank the family. I'm going to turn things over to Commander Maury, who's going to go a little bit more into detail on how we came to this conclusion and how we were able to successfully close this. So thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Good morning. As Chief Cox said, my name is Melissa Maury. I'm a commander with the Albany Police Department, but in the fall of 2018, I was a detective assigned to our forensic investigation unit. It was at
You would think that they would give these people chairs, right? They're going to sit. This is a 34-minute press conference. And, you know, I don't want to sound horrific, but these people weren't born yesterday here. You would think that they'd have some sort of a chair for these people. I would think. You think that's wrong? I don't know.
At this time, I had heard for the first
Get away
time
from me.
of the homicide, the unresolved homicide of Catherine Blackburn. Once I heard of the violent details and the heinous nature of the crime, I was truly shocked that I hadn't heard of this event prior. I was immediately curious to see what
I'm pretty sure they dug him up again. I'm pretty sure they exhumed his body for the testing. That's what took so long. Yeah, it says, with this new information, a follow-up investigation was conducted, leading investigators to potential relatives of the suspect. He died in 1998, was exhumed, and DNA was collected and compared to the DNA from the 1964 crime. I believe it was found on it might be another case that I'm thinking about. Hold on a second. Okay, so let's go back to this.
paperwork, what evidence we had, and what we could do with that evidence, if anything. While I was in the forensics unit, I pulled our case file, which I was very happy to see. We had
If I was up here for this long standing, I'd probably just fall down.
the entire case file. Not only did we have the entire case file, we had all of the physical evidence that was originally collected in 1964.
It's the Canadian. Hey, buddy, good to see you. It's Sweet Dude Shibby. Did you hear the news about Heather? Hebby? It's good to see Shibby in here. Always good to see Shibby in here.
Preserved and intact in our evidence storage. At that point in time, I was cataloging evidence, organizing our case file, uploading our evidence into our newer evidence management system, and as fate would have it, at the exact same time, the family of Catherine Blackburn had reached out to Dr. Lane after seeing a news story of Dr. Lane, the launch of her program. They reached out to Dr. Lane to see if there was anything she could do to help them find answers to this unresolved homicide. Dr. Lane and I had our first meeting together. Our partnership was born, and we went off from there. Throughout our partnership with Dr. Lane and the students, we were introduced to the FBI's ability to use forensic genealogy for their genealogical research. And due to the diligent efforts of our partners in the FBI New York office, we were able to identify our suspect as Joseph Nowakowski.
So he was, actually, let me stop sharing this here. I want to get to another couple of cases here first. The hell am I doing? Right, so let's go here. Right here. Okay, so he, so with the new information, Nowakowski died in 1998 after several stints in prison. So he was in prison for a lot of stuff, according to officials. He was actually convicted of a similar assault of an elderly woman in Schenectady in 1973. And I hope they use some of this DNA to look into other cases at the time, especially around upstate New York. Advanced DNA testing at Othram. So he was, officials believe he's likely connected to other, because there's a couple of cases that I've been following up there that kind of have similar MOs. There was one we covered last year, actually, from Albany, New York. Okay, so that's that. It's investigator learned that Blackburn had, so there was a slip of paper with some numbers, same numbers as the house 117. This is a strange case here. It took them 61 years to figure this out. 1 year. All right, let's go to this person here. People might remember who she is. This is just another one of these. Hey, it's Chuck. Chuck's here. And Miss J's here. Hey, Miss J, good to see you. Jason Ann's here. Charlie Manson's here. Because he's deceased. Yeah. It's good to see Carol here. Shibby Beasley, Miss J. Miss J's awesome. All right, so let's go here to this lady, this crazy lady here. She's this is just, I planned this because this is a hysterical thing here. Watch how she's wheeled. So this is the latest on Taylor Shabusiness here. Taylor Shabusiness pleaded no contest to a reduced charge of disorderly conduct ahead of her trial on battery charges. Shabusiness will be sentenced in December. This person's never getting out of prison at all. But watch how she's wheeled in here. This is just classic. This is just this woman's never going to go away either. Fucking funny. This woman here, class A actor here. Just look at it. This is so funny. Look at her. Oh my God. She's smiling. She's smiling. I could watch this forever. This you can't make this stuff up, man. You just
This stupid fucking chair. Oh my God. Oh no.
Oh, fuck, I'm gonna kill you. If I wasn't in this chair, I would kill you. Oh my God, this is terrible. All right, sorry.
This stupid fucking chair. Oh my God. Oh no. Yeah, you did a good job getting that fucking deal. Do I need to go tell them we're ready? They already made it. We did? Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. I can do it. Yeah.
Please be seated.
Slow.
Rolling Miss Daisy.
The court will call 24 CF 1048, State of Wisconsin versus Taylor Shabusiness. Appearances.
The state appears by Assistant District Attorney Tessa Button.
Good morning. Attorney Christopher T. Froelich appears today in person with the defendant, Taylor D. Shabusiness.
All right, this matter is set for a status conference.
I think this is the hearing for her attacking the lawyer, right? It's just that's what the not this guy here, but the other guy. I'm pretty sure that's what this is for.
Mr. Froelich, what is the status?
Your Honor, I've talked with the district attorney's office. I've conferred with my client. I've reviewed the case.
There's got to be something wrong with her mentally. There just has to be.
Ms. Shabusiness has decided that she wishes to enter into a plea agreement with the state. She will tender a plea to an amended charge of disorderly conduct as a misdemeanor offense. I have reviewed the plea questionnaire waiver of rights form carefully with my client. We've gone over all of her constitutional rights. We've had a chance to also talk on the phone. And we've reviewed the elements for this offense. Both of us have signed the form and I have it available for the court.
All right.
The eyebrows. Let's just
I have it available for the court.
All right.
She knows she's on camera, right? She knows as soon as this guy leans back, she's going to be on camera again. So she immediately does the eyebrow thing. It's just this woman here. You can't make this up. You just can't. There's something going on in here.
Thank you. Ms. Shabusiness, I've received a plea questionnaire waiver rights form. It would indicate that you're going to plead no contest to an amended count of
And guess who's paying for all of this shit, right? Like
disorderly conduct, and then both sides would be free to argue that sentence. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. This form indicates that you are 27 years old. You completed 12 years of schooling. You do have a high school diploma, GED, or HSCD. You understand the English language, and you understand the charges that you're pleading to, the disorderly conduct, what the state would have to show to find you guilty of that count is that you engage in violent, abusive, indecent, profane, boisterous, unreasonably loud, or otherwise disorderly conduct, which, under the circumstances as they then existed, tended to cause or provoke a disturbance. Is that your understanding?
Yeah.
You understand that the maximum penalty on this is 90 days in jail or a $1,000 fine or both, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. And you understand that the court is not bound by any agreement between the parties, and I could sentence you up to that maximum?
Yeah.
Still want to proceed?
she is an attention getter, man. She is the hyperbole of attention. She needs attention at all times. She's probably getting a lot of attention now, but she definitely needs attention.
Yes. Has anybody made any threats or promises to get you to change your plea today?
Let's hope.
You're doing so after speaking with your attorney?
I'm good. Yeah, we going straight. We doing it. We doing the plea.
Okay, you want to do the plea, right? And you're doing so after discussing it with your attorney, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. This form further indicates that you are not currently receiving treatment for mental illness, mental disorder, and you have not had any drugs, alcohol, or medication in the past 24 hours. Is that all correct?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes. The next section are your constitutional rights. Those rights are found here on the plea questionnaire. These boxes are checked. May I presume that you've read these or had them read to you by your attorney, and that you're freely, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving these constitutional rights and entering your not guilty plea, or I'm sorry, your no contest plea? Is that right?
I'm doing that.
You're doing that? Okay. You understand?
I will say one thing. This lawyer here doesn't look like he's afraid at all. He's just sitting there like, I don't know if I'd be able to represent her.
That those rights include, but are not limited to, your right to a trial, your right to remain silent, your right to testify at your trial, your right to a jury trial. All those rights you're giving up by entering a plea, correct?
Right.
right? Okay. Mr. Freilich, you went over this form with Ms. Shabusiness and answered all her questions.
Yes, I have very carefully, Your Honor.
Do you believe that she is freely, voluntarily, and intelligently changing her plea today?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And I want to add, I think she's nuts.
Do you believe that there's a factual basis for her plea?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
May I use the criminal complaint to find that factual basis?
Your Honor, yes, you may.
And how many offers total did you receive in this matter?
One.
And you conveyed it to Ms. Shabusiness and she's chosen to accept it?
Yes, I sent it to her by letter. I talked with her about it on the telephone, and we also talked in person today.
All right. Ms. Shabusiness, you've heard what your attorney had to say, correct?
Yeah,
Do you agree with him?
yeah.
Do you believe that you are freely, voluntarily, and intelligently changing your plea today?
Yeah, I'm going in with the plea because that's what I put my initials down on.
Okay. And do you have any questions of Mr. Freilich?
Never.
Never. And you agree that there's a factual basis to your plea, correct? To the disorderly conduct plea?
Yeah, violent behavior.
All right. Ms. Button, you're moving to amend count 1 from battery by a prisoner to disorderly conduct.
That's the end of her. There's only so much I can take from her, but it's the whole this whole. I could play this forever. This is so funny. It's just you can't. It's just so funny, man. It's almost as funny as the guy leaping over the judge's bench. It's just so. And the smile. Where's the camera? She looks. Where's the camera? And I just smile. That's classic. That's a good one. That's freaking awesome. All right, I got a couple more I want to play, then I'll get out of here. I do want to play this because this came locally here, and I will be trying to. It's the attitude, yes, Sarah Boonish. Yep. This criminal here has her own. Hopefully, we've heard the last of Sarah Boone. That's for sure. I do want to play this one here because this is be looking into this because I'm going to be going down here shortly here. So this happened this week here, and this is another one of these cold cases here. But so here in New Hampshire, we have our own, finally, our own cold case department. And it's been a long time coming. Everybody's been, they've been picketing outside. There's so many crimes that haven't been solved yet here, cold case files. So that's where this is coming from. But they've released this video in connection with this cold case. This is inside a place called Bunny's Superette. So this is from the video camera, and this is her. She was right after this here. I think she was found. The Attorney General is hoping this video will lead to new information about the 2010 homicide of Lynn Brennan. So let's go here. And I'm pretty sure everybody's been all over this up here, but I'm going to go down here to see if I can get some more information here of this.
Investigators are making a renewed push for justice in the case of a woman found dead in her Manchester home. This month marks 15 years since the death of Lynn Brennan. For the first time, we're seeing surveillance video of her captured around the time she was killed.
I didn't even want to take her life. She was a good person. A heartbroken family is hoping newly released video will help lead to more information in the unsolved homicide of Lynn Brennan. The video from Bunny's Superette on Webster Street in Manchester shows Brennan on the afternoon of October 4th, 2010. Just 5 days later, she was found dead in her home on North River Road. Investigators publicly released the video for the first time on Sunday. They say the 53-year-old mother of 3 was living alone when she was killed. News 9 spoke with Brennan's sister Lisa Post back in 2018. It's unbearable sometimes, and as the years go by, you try to
find ways to cope and live with it, but it's always there, ever present.
Authorities have never revealed the cause of Brennan's death. In a statement, Senior Assistant Attorney General Christopher Knowles said in part, "The passage of time only strengthens our resolve. We believe there are people who have information that could be the missing piece in this case."
Now, if you do have any information about the homicide of Lynn Brennan, you are urged to contact the New Hampshire Cold Case Unit. Tips can be made anonymously.
All right, so hold on one second here. I want to go.
Lynn Brennan. The video from Bunny Soubrette on Webster Street.
Hold on a second here. Let me back this up a little bit here.
Is hoping newly released video will help.
They actually have this somewhere where I don't have to do the whole news thing here, but it looks like, doesn't it look like she's having a hard time here for some reason at this counter? Like this isn't the normal, yeah, I'm here to buy some shit. Let me get out of here. It seems like there's some sort of a verbal confrontation going on here with this. All I'm saying is it doesn't look like a normal, here's my milk. Let's end this transaction and get out of here. It seems like it's a little bit more than that.
Help lead to more information in the unsolved homicide
See that look right there? Like, what are you doing?
of Lynn Brennan. The video from Bunny Soubrette on Webster Street in Manchester shows Brennan on the afternoon of October 4th, 2010. Just 5 days later, she was found dead in her home on North River Road. Investigators publicly released the video for the first time on Sunday.
I should have played the actual thing here, but I think, and maybe it's just me, but it just seems like something was going on here. It could be just me.
They say the 53-year-old mother of three was living alone when she was killed.
All right, so that's that one there. I'm going to go down there and take a look at that. Because I know I used to buy beer there all the time. All right, so I want to play this one here. This was 2 days ago. Then I'll get out of here, I promise. Hold on 1 second here. Let me switch this here. It just seems like that, usually when you get into a corner store like that, a convenience store, you're in there to get in and out of there. It looks like she was doing a little bit more than just that. All right, so this is going to be a little triggering here. So this is, I came across this the other day too. Loved ones at the center of one of the most brutal murder cases in New Mexico have a warning that this piece of dog shit who unalived a pregnant woman and stole her baby could be released on parole. So this is going to be pretty disturbing here. I'll play this one here and then we'll get out of here. This is coming from KOB4.
Spite of tragedy, that there are survivors and that we're doing okay.
The people have been so kind to me. The least I can do is let them know what's at stake for their community.
That's the same man, nearly 30 years apart. He has endured more than you can imagine. Tonight, he's raising the alarm about the woman who killed his wife.
There's something very strange about that whole interaction at the counter. It's just my something. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because they slowed down the speed. I don't know.
In one of the most horrific crimes in our state's history. A warning: the details are graphic. Monica Logronio spoke with him today. Monica, he wants everyone to know his wife's killer, Darcy Pierce, could go free after spending 38 years in prison.
That's right, Ryan. In 1990, Pierce was found guilty of first-degree murder for killing Cindy Ray by cutting her baby out of her womb with a set of car keys.
Like I said, this is going to be disturbing.
Taking the child and leaving Cindy to die. Now, for the third time, Pierce is up for parole. But this time, Ray's family says things are different. And for the first time, they're frightened that she could be released.
Worried about the people in New Mexico. What's going to happen to the people in New Mexico if she gets paroled? What if she's in your backyard?
For the past 38 years, Darcy Pierce has been behind bars.
This is somebody who's sick. She has been sick. She was sick when she killed my wife.
For the past 38 years, Sam Ray has been in a different
You all right, bro? You doing all right? It's always good to see Shibby in here.
type of prison, reliving his wife's brutal murder not only at the trial and every court proceeding since then, but in everyday life.
No, I've lost track. It's at least a dozen copycat crimes of other women who have killed to take a baby from the womb of the mother they killed. It's not just Darcy's crime, it's all the crimes she inspired.
In 1987, Pierce abducted Cindy Ray in Albuquerque and took her to a forest, where she strangled her enough to keep her alive but unconscious, while she used car keys to cut Cindy's child from her womb. Pierce then took the child and left Cindy to die.
I'm not vindictive toward Darcy. I don't dislike Darcy.
Amazing how things happen in life. It's just, you know, you just can't make this stuff up.
Forgiven her.
Tuesday, Pierce had a parole hearing, and for the first time, Ray hasn't received a call back.
Every other time, I was notified within an hour that she was denied parole. It's now been over 24 hours and I haven't been notified.
But it's not just the notification worrying.
Oh, you should feel good about that then. Isn't it still preseason? Maybe they can get all of their losing out now. There's good news. I mean, the Maple Leafs, not the Maple Leafs, but the Blue Jays advanced, bro. You can't have everything, man. The Toronto Maple Leafs are never going to win anything ever again. I can pretty much guarantee that.
Cindy's loved ones. It's the chilling lack of remorse from Pierce.
Darcy said that, and this is a quote, the alphabet soup of diagnosis.
Could you imagine they might let this person out of prison? I mean, just let that sink in. Like, this is insane.
Discussed in the trial were all wrong. All the experts were wrong. She's basically saying she was not mentally ill, but she was convicted of mental illness. Her conviction was guilty but mentally ill.
Pierce also reportedly claims she earned a degree with an emphasis on psychology, and if released, would want to work at a crisis line.
If your kid's struggling and they call a crisis line, do you want Darcy on the other end?
No. No,
giving
thanks.
her child advice?
No, not really. No, I'm good. Good with that.
On how to deal with their crises?
38 years later, Ray doesn't want your remorse. He wants you to know who could be getting out of prison.
I want the people in New Mexico to know what's at stake here. Because it's their safety, it's their community, it's their family.
It's the scariest thing you could ever imagine, right? Just think about your worst nightmare possible. That's what these people are going through. Well, we're definitely not rooting for the Bruins, but thank you for your opinion, Paula. Because it doesn't look like the Bruins are going to be winning anything soon either. Go Canadians.
Now, that baby did survive and now 38 years old with a family and kids of her own. Her father told me she lives actually outside of the country because everywhere she went in the U.S., she was that girl. And Ray also said she hasn't been to the parole hearings because she still fears Pierce.
Okay, so the parole hearing was just this week, yesterday, right?
Yes.
What's the next steps?
So the parole board has until October 21st to make their decision. If they deny it, she'll be eligible again in about 2 years. Now, if they approve it, the Department of Corrections says it'll go to the governor's office, who will actually have the final say there.
We'll be following what happens next. Monica, thanks.
I mean, I just don't. I don't get it. I don't understand. And usually I have sympathy for people, but when you commit a crime like anything like this, like, I mean, even the story we covered a little earlier tonight, you just don't get to go free. I'm sorry. Society is not capable of handling you out here. It's just not. It's just my opinion. I'm not saying I have any real say in all of this stuff here, but it's a horrendous crime, man. It's brutal to the max. It just don't get any worse than that, bro. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna get the hell out of here. I want to thank everybody for coming in. I really appreciate it. I thank Mustang. You're awesome so much. Make sure we're subscribed to Mustang. Mustang's got a great channel. Always good to see Mustang in here. We got Tracy. Geez, I hope you feel better. I mean, it sucks. But Southern Gal, she's the best. Southern Gal's the best creator. She's got an awesome channel. She does great with the Monday Night Missing. She does, the last night when she was on that, I got a chance to catch. Always fun to be over there. I just got to get a better charger. Paula's amazing. Paula's got a great channel too. Paula, thank you, Quad. Paula's amazing. Whoops, I don't want any notes. Shibby, thank you so much for coming in. Shibby's great. It's a long season, bro. It's Chuck, Charlie Mance. It's always good to see Charles in here. Charles is a great guy. Good to see him here. I know Dee Dee was in here. Dee Dee's amazing. JCN too. JCN's got a great channel too. I'm going to try to get over there this week to you guys. It's been a pretty busy. This is a busy time for me this year. This time of the year here. But Miss JCN's got a great channel. She does great work. Awesome stuff. I know Peggy O was in here. I hope Peggy O feels better. I know she's not feeling all that great. Vitamin C, definitely. I'd recommend vitamin C. I don't think it does anything, but it's probably some sort of a placebo. Peggy O, we did Peggy O's. I know that Gretchen, happy birthday, Gretchen. I know that Carol was in here. I know that Mino Dino came in and gave us really good freaking news about Heather. I mean, that's the best news in a while. It's awesome. I hope she's doing well. I hope she's sleeping. Or Dee Dee was in here. I know Dee Dee was in here. Dirty Diana, she got a great channel too. Next week, I'm going to try not to laugh as much. I mean, this is true crime, but some of these cases, it's just business cases. It's just, hopefully we never see her again, ever. Beasley was in here. Thank you, Beasley, so much. I know I'm going to miss some people. I apologize for that. Today's going to be football day for sure. Once I wake up, I may come on tomorrow afternoon and do a little on a nor'easter we're supposed to be getting around here. But it's probably going to get pretty rainy and pretty crappy for the next couple of days, especially down around Virginia, New Jersey, New York. Who else was in here? If I don't say good night to you, sorry about that. I can't scroll all the way up. I hope Jocelyn's okay too. I haven't seen Jocelyn around for a while. I hope Charlotte's okay. Big Fish was in here. Big Fish is awesome. Nicole Watt, I hope you're feeling better. I hope you feel okay. Nicole Watt is awesome too. Carol was in here. We know Carol was in here. Pertinent was in here. Pertinent is great. Jenny 8675309 was in here. All great people. People who watch on the replay, I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I know there's so many people that watch on the replay. Boston Christian was in here. Boston Christian's great too. I've known Boston Christian forever. I don't know Boston Christian. I just have seen her around for forever here. That's it. I think that's it. If I missed you, sorry about that. I'm going to scroll that back down here. You ate cereal with Nicole. You're feeling a little bit better now? Okay, good. All right, so we're out of here. Whatever you guys do, don't die. And have a great week. And I'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys all. I really appreciate it. Let me play my outro. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. What are you going to do? I can't scroll all the way back. I'm never doing that shit again. Yeah, don't do it. All right, let's play my outro and get out of here. Let's do that. See you guys later. Have a great week.